Shields up, Iron Breakers. How's everybody doing today on this fine Thursday afternoon? Hope you're all doing good, and hopefully we can improve on that with today's edition of the Cons Anvil. Although, what am I talking about with some of the news that we're going to be talking about? It's definitely not going to make it better. And I just realized I left my hat behind. Oh my God. Absolute failure. Starts stream late, forgets his hat. Like, how is this even possible? How is this man a professional live streamer? Good Lord, cancel this man. Absolutely unacceptable behavior. Here we are. I am back. See, but I never stopped speaking. That's the important part. I was always with you while I was looking for my hat, because that is very, very important. Not Focka, thank you very much for becoming grossly incandescent. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. And I think I have the music maybe a little bit too low. There you go. There you go. That's what's up. Rory C, thank you very much for becoming gross and get this for 10 months. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you very much. And also, we got to give the beginning shout-outs to the Thanes. The absolute giga-chads that support the channel as Thanes. Colin Lashore, Fulminus, Can Maratli, Dan Pribernow, Mainstream, and Louise Rosa. Thank you very much for being grossly incandescent as Thanes! You absolute giga-chads. Tip of the hat. Appreciate support. Thank you. Thank you very much. How's everybody doing? We all doing good? We all big time chilling? In today's show, we're going to be talking about the Nintendo situation. There's apparently an interview that I haven't really watched yet, so we're going to be watching that interview. We're going to be talking about the Path of Exile situation as well. We're going to be talking about Dusk Bloods. And I guess we'll talk a little bit about Monster Hunter as well, because apparently liking Monster Hunter is a big no-no nowadays. And I really want to hear from people that feel like this isn't okay. There's all these problems with the game and we need to like boycott it or something, because that's almost the vibe that I've been getting from some of the feedback that I've seen online from the community. And it's weird. Tired and eating fast food. Fast food will make you more tired, Tree Stump. Keep that in mind. Iris, saludos desde Latam. Thank you very much. Saludos. Getting ready to watch people complain about Nintendo. Meanwhile, they're going to be the same folks buying the console and playing all the games. Fucking big true. Big true. Although I personally have kind of like been reconsidering, like, as much as I want the Switch 2, like we'll get into that. We'll get into that when we get to the Switch 2 topic. I have a lot of things to say about that. Is it about how Monster Hunter is a woke game? I've heard, like, help me understand. Help me understand that one. How is Monster Hunter a woke game? That has been one that's been like thrown around. Absolutely. Like, how is it woke? Who said that? Lots of people are saying that. I've gotten a few comments on that, and I've seen it plastered all over social media. So it's like, I'm just curious. Is all. Because of Gemma's haircut and the kid not being white? Is this like back in the 90s where if guys wore earrings on a certain ear, they were gay? Or something like that? And then some dudes started wearing earrings on the left ear because that was rebellious or whatever the fuck? Is that the same thing? Because when we go to Scarlet Forest, Alma says, look at all that diversity. Okay. There's women in it. They show emotions in the cutscenes. Oh. Is it woke because somebody wants to have clickbait? Brown people? Okay. Got it. It is like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like, cause I have heard from people, like, about like how woke it was, and I'm just like, all right, don't know what to tell you about that. In Germany, we used to say links ist cool, rechts ist schwul. I don't know what that means. List the things that make Monster Hunter Wilds woke. Muscular women, child of color, Gemma's hair, the black lady in the Orwell Basin. Which one? There's plenty of them, right? General neutral armor, not true men in the cast, and so it goes. What do they mean by not true men in the cast? Are they trying to make some comment on my hunter like he's not a real man? Like, what? My hunter's as manly as it gets. He's in the thumbnail of this video. He's a manly man. Big manly man. Like, do I have it in here? Let me see. Should be here. Look at this big manly man. Doesn't get more manly than this, bro. What do you mean? Bam! Look at him. Look at his face. Look. He exudes masculinity. Look at him. Anyways, I guess that's not a good point. So let's move on from that one. Let's move on from that one. Is it okay to like Monster Hunter? Let's actually we're gonna poll. I'm gonna poll you guys. Is it okay to like Monster Hunter Wilds? I just want to see where we're at. There's actually people saying no. I'm going to assume you guys are trolling. Cause like I've just been seeing some comments and it's just like, bro, this is getting to some insane levels of insanity. Is this was Rada's stream? No, it's not Rada's stream. Because it's, I don't know, dude. I've just been frustrated recently because things that I like doesn't seem to be okay to like them. So I'm just making sure, am I out of touch? Like, what the fuck is going on? Why do I keep seeing these people just come after me and going like, oh, you can't like Wilds, it's bad, you're not allowed to like it, stop! Rada will not play Monster Hunter Wilds anymore until Master Rank? Oh, really? Oh, man, because see, I was waiting to poke him for our next podcast before, I was waiting until after the event. If he's not playing it anymore, I can just talk to him now. People are too into herd mentality nowadays. I don't know, dude. It's just been a wild situation with not just this, but also Path of Exile 2. And I want to make one thing perfectly clear. Monster Hunter Wilds is not a perfect game. I have plenty of criticisms of Monster Hunter Wilds. Plenty! Like I've stated, I'm like, bro, I need something harder. I want things to be less convenient. I've expressed this time and time again. Guess what? It ain't happening. It's not happening. I've accepted it. It is what it is. But because it is what it is, I'm going to do my best to enjoy what is there. Because at the end of the day, I still have fun with the game. Yeah, he didn't touch Title Update 1. What? He didn't play Title Update 1? I have that exact same feeling. I almost feel bad for liking Monster Hunter in PoE 2. Yeah, dude. It's weird. People feel like they need to have more extreme opinions nowadays. You can't just like something as is. Huh. Really liked the Dolly stream yesterday. Bro, don't tempt me. Listen. Don't tempt me. The sprues are right here. They are right here. Don't tempt me. I assembled like already 3 more, I think, since didn't we assemble 4 on yesterday's stream? I think I've assembled 3 more since then. Because I'll just be in here thinking about some stuff that I'm going to be doing, and then I'm like, oh, guess what? Let's go paint a couple more, not paint, but assemble a couple more minis. Okay, I think that this is pretty much, boom. Gray area perspective isn't welcome nowadays. It's either love and praise or cancel it. Yeah, that's one of the things that I've noticed. It's like it's very hard for people to accept nuanced takes because it's like you either completely hate it, at which point if it's not okay to not like it, then you're just labeled as a hater, or you completely love it, at which point if it's not okay to love it, then you're a glazer, you know? You, Jenny, thank you very much for the souls. Tip of the hat, appreciate support. Thank you. I don't know. I might feel like tempting. No, don't tempt me. Ruri, why is it not called Consville? That sounds terrible. Did you actually read that sentence out loud in your head? Well, not loud, but like actually read that sentence back in your head and then question why did you type that? Title update 1's a great start. Can't wait to see the Capcom collab last month. Yeah. Wild is okay till they nerf Gore Magala. Did they nerf Gore Magala? Never mind. Went back real quick. Yes, it's okay to like Monster Hunter Hell. It's okay to like any game, show, book, or music, or media. If you don't like it, ignore it. I mean, I'm not saying ignore it. I think it's cool for you to have like an opinion on it, and I think it's cool to talk about it. What I don't think is cool is when you just start dismissing somebody else's opinion. You can disagree with it, unless that person's just completely unreasonable. Sometimes there's also completely unreasonable shit. But yeah, you either die a glazer or live long enough to become a day one hater. Big true. What I don't like about Title Update is that compared to World, where Title Update are just nice extras, is now becoming a requirement to make the game feel finished. A requirement to make the game feel finished. This takes us back to the whole thing that Wilds is unfinished. So, here's what I would propose. If we are saying that Wilds is... I mean, I think it's obvious that Rise is unfinished. Rise was unfinished on release, 100%. Like, this was admitted by the developers. Straight up, it's like, hey, we weren't able to finish it, COVID, yada, yada, yada. So, Rise released unfinished. However... if we are going to say that Wilds released unfinished, I am going to put forward the notion, so did World. You can't say one thing, from my experience with both games, you can't say one thing without the other. So if you are saying that Wilds released in an unfinished state, so did Monster Hunter World. And I want to hear arguments against that reasoning. Tell me why I'm wrong. And by the way, I'm not saying this is like being combative or anything. I mean, I actually need to hear like contrarian opinions to what I don't know if contrarian is the right word, but you guys get the idea. I need to hear opinions that go against my own opinion to make sure that I'm not like in an echo bubble. And I want to actually have a bit of a back and forth. So it's like, if Wilds is unfinished, my claim is that so was World. Tell me, why would I be wrong? Even if Wild is unfinished, T1 finished it, gave us more shit, therefore T2 will have flat out more content than World. World had a gathering hub and arena quest though. Sure, but it had less endgame. I would suggest Monster Hunter Rise. Would you suggest Monster Hunter Rise? I'm thinking about playing in between Wild's update. Monster Hunter Rise is really fun. Especially now that, you know, you have Rise 3.0, which has like a ton of content. And probably if you get it with Sunbreak, which you can get dirt cheap, yeah, absolutely. It's a ton of fun to play through that. Even if you don't end up doing the anomaly grinding, which can get like really tedious, depending on your level of patience, it's still a really fun romp to go through, and you get to experience the wire bug mechanics and all that. You get to experience wyvern riding, which is fun for the first couple of times. Gonna get a little bit stale near the end, but still fun. I'm pretty sure a lot of people misremember how unfinished World was without updates in Iceborne. Agreed. Did you give up hope that we'll get difficulty in future title update and Master Rank? We'll talk about that. Wilds feels like one of the more finished games I've played in a long time. Contra opinions. I agree with what I meant, more like if you don't like it, go out of your way to hate on your community, let's give it a chance. People conflate unfinished with delaying content. Wild so much fun, crafting every single one max. One thing missing from Wilds is high ranked as Oshia. It's more finished than World, but it's still unfinished. Some monsters that were in game were moved to title updates. The only way to actually know if finished monsters were moved to title updates is by going into leak territory. There's no other way to know that, as far as I'm aware. So, because I don't report on leaks, I don't know. I saw people mention that World was cooking for half a year before porting to PC while Wilds was pushed in a rare state. I don't agree with this myself. What? What's your take on the Ardian system? Do you think they implemented it too soon? No. Like I said, I don't care that much about the Ardian system because it's not as mandatory as a lot of people are making it to be. Base World had more content than Base Wilds. I'm pretty sure they didn't nerf the monsters. They did Gore Magala Big L. Base World did not have more content than Base Wilds. You can say it had one or two more monsters. You can't say it had more content. I don't agree with that. How does Base World have more content than Monster Hunter Wilds? Monster Hunter Wilds has more endgame chase than World had on release. Now, the difference is it's much easier to achieve your objectives with Monster Hunter Wilds than it was with Monster Hunter World. That I can agree with. But Monster Hunter Wilds is a more fleshed out endgame system than Monster Hunter World had on release. And we're not talking about the PC release, we're talking about release. Because when the game released, it wasn't on PC, it was on consoles. I'm talking about the PlayStation Xbox release of Monster Hunter World, which is what we have with Monster Hunter Wilds. Well, now we're at Title Update 1, but you guys get it. Let's be real, Monster Hunter Wilds is not like Monster Hunter Rise at launch. No, it's not. That's not what I said. Finished in mechanics and polish, not optimization and content. That's not changing my argument. Monster Hunter World also had plenty of optimization problems when it released. It also had plenty of performance problems when it released. Hell, it had plenty of performance problems when it released on PC. My argument is, again, we're comparing Wilds to World. We should not excuse Capcom rushing the game out to give us a worse experience to reach their fiscal goal. I am not excusing Capcom. I am talking specifically about whether or not the game is in a finished state in comparison to Monster Hunter World. Because I've already criticized the performance plenty of times. I said performance is not what I would want it to be. I had more faith that the team was going to bring a better performance experience, which is what I expressed in my first performance video. But at the same time, in my final review, I said performance is not where it should be. Just like I criticized the performance, which I think is one of the biggest things. And I believe I also criticized the lack of a gathering hub. I criticized the lack of a canteen. I criticized the difficulty. So it's like I criticized Capcom as to whether or not they rushed the game. I don't know if they rushed the game. I don't know if they released it like a month after what they released it, if it was going to be any more polished than what we've gotten. Because, like, I haven't seen a significant change in performance with Title Update 1. Even though they did say that they did improve it, I haven't seen a significant change. So, it's like, I'm not defending Capcom. I'm arguing the point that Wilds is more finished than World. Than Base World. I think two things can be true. Wild has more content, but World had all the expected features at launch. Title Update 1 gave us those features back. Okay, let's talk about something that, because it seems like a lot of people are against the fact that Gathering Hub came with a title update, which I'm not excusing it. I'm just, the one thing that I did say in a recent video is that I think that was intentional. I think it was intentional that they chose to release Gathering Hub with title update 1. I believe if they wanted to, they could have released the Gathering Hub on release of the game. I think that piece of content was ready to be released when the game launched, and they chose not to do it. That's not excusing it. That's not saying it's good. So, how about this? How about this? Should we get rid of the concept of title updates? Let's actually pull. Now, I see a lot of you guys saying no. I want to make my proposition here very clear because I don't think you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Should we get rid of title updates, and rather than having title updates, we have a longer development cycle and you get all the title updates on release of the game? So rather than have base game, title update 1, title update 2, title update 3, you get everything on release. I'm talking everything. Like Rise 3.0, you get that on release. And that poll's going up right now. This is a very important poll, by the way. You shouldn't, like, vote on this for the memes. This is very, very important. So I just want to point out, we are at 77% of people saying that we should not get rid of title updates. And again, understand, the premise of this is that we get rid of title updates, but you get all the content from every title update at the same time on launch day. And you guys are overwhelmingly voting that we shouldn't do that. I'm not saying either of these is wrong or right, and I have purposefully not expressed my own view on it to not influence the poll. Because a lot of people will be like, oh, Rurikhan, big glazer, Capcom shill is like, no, listen, I just presented the argument because I want to get completely raw opinions on this topic. And a majority of you guys are saying, no, we shouldn't get rid of title updates. It's called live service for a reason. It's not a live service game. I think the title updates keeps the community healthy and active longer. I just don't want the title updates as an argument for monsters. To purposely have monsters being in the base game to be delayed for no argument reason. Why do you say that there is no reason? We don't know why the monsters got delayed. You could have gotten the game delayed. Would that have been better? Like, okay, Monster Hunter Wilds now releases in July. Which kind of removes the argument that are comparing completed years of a game to a new game. Good question, Ruri. Yeah, it's like, I think that this is a very important question that we all need to ask ourselves. And I'm not saying which one is the right answer, because there is no right answer. This is going to be something that for some people is going to be very personal. And a lot of people are going to prefer, yes, I want all the content at launch, which we're talking probably about upwards of 1,000 hours of content with all the title updates bundled together in one fell swoop, versus getting them piecemeal over the course of a couple of months. Give me GU content from the start. See, the problem with that relentless spike is that it's quite simply not viable to give you Generations Ultimate content from the get-go. Generations Ultimate has 92 monsters. You can't make 92 monsters with the current level of fidelity that we have in Monster Hunter Wilds. If we go back to, like, you know, the textures of Monster Hunter Rise or something like that, maybe you can get away with... But even then, I don't know, because the animation fidelity is just, like, so much more improved since the old Monster Hunter games that it's going to be nearly impossible to replicate the detail of these animations for 92 monsters. You're talking about like a 10-year project. You're talking about a video game that would take 10 years to develop. You're talking about a video game that by the time that it releases, it's fucking obsolete because the technology has moved past so much further. That's the thing about the current development cycle of video games. Like, making a Monster Hunter game with over 90 monsters to hunt with current generation graphics and animation quality is insane. We could. It would cost thrice the price. How? Like, this isn't something that is, oh yeah, let's throw more people at it. It doesn't work like that. Problem with people wanting all the content at once is they'll blaze through it, then say it was not enough content anyways. Generations again is unreasonable, as cool as it would be. Yeah. They keep our engine, they can reuse assets, and we get more monsters in the next few games. I don't know. The game will have a much longer lasting impression if it isn't consumed in one go, but is instead released over time. It's not a price thing, it's a time thing. Same people cheering for the Gore Magala nerf are the same people who had to get carried to beat Base World Karen. Base Worlds is better than Base Wilds. Iron Panther, thank you very much for the souls. Tip of the hat, appreciate support. Thank you. I'm confused. You keep talking about a Gore Magala nerf. Is Gore Magala getting nerfed? Because I must be out of the loop. I've been, you know, playing with my dollies too much. Is Gore Magala getting nerfed? Like, what the hell? He is not. I haven't seen any nerfs. I haven't seen any nerfs either. So it's very confusing to me that you keep talking about a Gore Magala nerf. The camera got nerfed? Oh, because it zooms out further. Yeah, you zoom out further when you're fighting Gore Magala. It doesn't need a nerf. It absolutely does not need a nerf. Like, I need to know, is Gore Magala getting nerfed? Because I haven't seen any information about Gore Magala getting nerfed. Yeah, there's an 8-star version coming later down the line. Okay, the camera change. Camera change is not a nerf to Gore Magala. Being able to see things better is not a gameplay nerf. Make Monster Hunter first person buff camera. Because people are using Zoshia armor. Zoshia is busted, absolutely. Zoshia armor is fucking cracked, bro. Cracked. Ricard, thank you very much for becoming grossly incandescent. Tip of the hat, appreciate support. Thank you. There's nothing to patch notes or dev letter. Yeah, I haven't seen anything either. So, you got your wallet back. Thank you. So, now we need to talk about something else. We've established that from you guys here in chat, a majority of you would not want to get rid of title updates in favor of getting all the content they want. You'd rather have the content delivered to you piecemeal over the course of several months with the different events and all of that stuff. Keeps the community active, keeps all of that stuff going. Again, I want to point out again, because I know that somebody's going to go into my comment section and say, oh, everybody's just fucking glazing Capcom. It's like, the hardcore glaze. And it's like, I influenced nothing in this poll. Nothing. I spoke nothing. I said nothing. I just said, here's two options. You get everything they won, or you get the title updates. And people overwhelmingly chose getting the title updates. Okay? So, before you rush to the comment section and tell me all about the glazing and the ba-da-ba-da-ba, keep that in mind. Okay? Because it's one thing that I feel that a lot of people don't understand. is that what I want for the game, what Rurikhan, what I want for the game, and what the community as a whole, a majority of the Monster Hunter community wants for the game, are two very, very different things. Jenny, what do you think about removing clunk? Good, makes the game easier without meaningful and interesting difficulty being introduced to compensate. We'll talk about that. Thank you very much for the souls, tip of the hat. And David Leatherwood, thank you very much for the souls, tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. Thank you. I actually meant to answer no. I accidentally voted yes on that poll. Most people still voted no. Okay, let's be fair. Your audience doesn't consist of Monster Hunter haters. Your channel is not called Ratatosker. I mean, I like to think that I try to bring people on as much as possible with all kinds of opinions. Like, I like to think that I will very rarely ban someone or dismiss someone that has a different opinion from mine. Usually I'll try to engage and I'll explain, hey, here's where I'm at. You might think something differently. It's whatever. This is what I think. Specifically because I seek out people who have a different opinion from me. I specifically seek this out. Because if the things that I believe in can't hold up under scrutiny, then they're not worth believing in. That's the way that I've always looked at things. This is why I will go on and I'll talk to Ratatosker and I'll talk to people that have wildly different opinions from me, because I think that is interesting. Okay? And Ratatosker does not hate Monster Hunter. As a matter of fact, the interesting thing is me and Ratatosker pretty much agree on a lot of things, but the difference is whenever something doesn't go my way in video game development, I'll be like, okay, but can I make it interesting enough to where I can still enjoy it? And if the answer is yes, I'll just go and I'll enjoy it. Whereas Ratatosker's like, no, fuck it, I'm done. Which is fair. Both things are fair. Reed, do you have a Gunlance video? Yes, there's a Gunlance guide. Let's get to the real question. Gunlance needs buffs. No, but like, on a serious note, I want to make sure that people understand, okay? What Wilds is doing is not necessarily what I want for Monster Hunter. Which is something that I feel because oftentimes people will catch like one or two videos where I'm having fun with the game. And, and because I had the interview with the developers, everybody just thinks like, oh yeah, Rurikhan just unquestionably loves everything developers are doing. No, I've stated multiple times. What I want for Monster Hunter is slow, methodical combat. I want more animation commitment. I want slower things. I want weapons that take longer to swing, which is the exact opposite of what we've gotten with Wilds. We've got focus mode. Focus mode takes away 90% of the animation commitment of the game. And I'm not exaggerating. Focus mode straight up takes away 90% of the animation commitment of the game because you can just turn the camera, adjust your attacks, do whatever. Now, focus mode is fun. I'm having fun with focus mode. Sure, I can aim my attacks, like go, zoom, 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 all of that. But it is still very much an arcade Monster Hunter experience. I like it when it's slower. I like it when the difficulty is you're seeing what the monster is doing. You can understand what attack is coming, and you can ponder your decision as to, do I want to block that? Do I want to try to dodge that? Do I want to use a consumable? You get to think about what is going on. You get to analyze it, and you actually feel like a hunter because you've studied this monster, and you're figuring out, and in your brain, you're judging everything that you can do. But Monster Hunter has steadily moved more to a reaction-based gameplay, which is monsters jump at you, and it's like immediately dodge or block, and hope you make the right call, depending on the capabilities of your weapon. Or try to counter it if you have a weapon that has counters and all of that stuff. And it becomes more about twitch reflexes than necessarily meaningfully engaging with the game's systems. Okay? This is why, this is the thing that I want versus the thing that we're getting. Now, the situation here is, can I still have fun with the thing that we got? Yup. Guess what? I'm going to go have fun with the thing that we got. It's just that simple. But for a lot of people, they can't do that. They just look at it and they're like, no, I like it. I don't like it so much that I don't even want to engage with it. And that's fair. That's absolutely fair. What is not fair is to then turn around and say that, oh, you don't actually believe the things that you're saying. You don't actually want to do the things that you said that you want. It's like, no, I do, but I'm still going to have fun with what I got because life's too fucking short, bro. And I'm 43 years old. Who knows? If I live to get to be 70, I'm way past the midterm of my age. So I better be enjoying whatever we're getting. By the way, I just got confirmation from Jono. Gormagala is not getting nerfed. Okay? I asked Jono. Jono's like, no, what are you talking about? No, there's no nerfs to Gormagala. It's like, see, I go straight to the source. You will never get methodical gameplay until Capcom onboards the average player properly. They failed at that in World Anjanath. It's like, I don't know how to fix that. It's such a weird dichotomy that we live in where us Monster Hunter players were like, we want the game to be harder. At least I feel like a significant... Let's actually pull that one too, because I've been getting some mixed opinions on that. Let's say, do you want Monster Hunter Wilds to be more challenging? You can say yes or no. No does not mean that you want it easier. It just means that you don't want it any harder than what it currently is. Harder is too subjective. That's why I didn't say harder. I said more challenging. So let's once again take a look at what we're working with here. Damn! That's a big ol' yes. Everybody wants it harder. Well, not harder, more challenging. I mean, not everybody. We're at 88%. Most people want Monster Hunter Wilds to be more challenging. So, the interesting dichotomy that we live in is we in the Monster Hunter community, we got Monster Hunter Wilds, we blasted through Monster Hunter Wilds, phenomenal game, had a blast, had fun, all of that stuff. Not necessarily the game that a lot of us wanted, but still a really fun game. Most of us want the game to be more challenging. In Path of Exile 2... it's the exact opposite. It's the other way around. They got themselves a hard game, and everybody's like, make it easier. Oh, man. Damn, bro. Rurikhan, your chat is not representative of the average player, though. It's like, listen, my chat, you guys are what I have to work with. I can't go into somebody's home and be like, listen, we need to talk about Monster Hunter Wilds. And then the person goes, sir, this is a Wendy's. What are you doing? Is it warranted or is it like an Elden Ring thing? I don't know because I need to invest way more hours. Whose opinion should be more relevant? People with thousands of hours or newcomers? Depends. I don't necessarily think that people with thousands of hours... Because, I mean, not even that. Depends on what the objective is. So, if the objective of the game is to be as successful as possible, the new player's opinion becomes much more important than the veteran. Because the veteran's going to play the game no matter what. Whereas the new player is only going to play the game if the game delivers on a certain experience that they want. And regardless of whether or not we want things to be harder, we want things to be more challenging, we want more... I mean, I'm saying we. I want more animation commitment. I want more inconveniences in the form of preparation and hunting simulation elements. Absolutely, I want those things. However, One thing that I can't argue is that if Capcom wants a more successful game, what they've done with Wilds is exactly what they should have done, because it's the most successful Monster Hunter game ever. From a sales perspective or whatever, or a profits perspective, I would assume it's the best. It's the best. So that's the thing, right? So what I want is, and I've said this multiple times, what I want is not necessarily what is best for the game from a successful standpoint. That can be used with starting a new weapon as well. Veterans will play the game regardless of new weapon, while new players don't care about it. They have 14 weapons as new. Yeah. Steam review. Didn't like it. Worst game. Has 3,000 hours played. It's the right choice to make, but disappointing for me. It's the right financial choice to make. Now, this does not excuse the performance issues that people are still experiencing and all of that stuff, by the way, because I know that some people are, oh, can you just like... It's like, no, I'm not excusing anything. As a new player to Monster Hunter, I think it does need to be a bit more challenging. As I'm learning to play the game, it's getting easier. Yeah, so the challenge will hopefully come with Master Rank, or maybe future title updates. So one of you guys asked me earlier, have I given up on the game becoming more challenging? No, because Zoshia was more challenging. Zoshia brought with it more challenge. Mizutsune brought with it more challenge. And we're going to get like a more hardcore Gore Magala, and that opens up the avenue for Capcom just adding a bunch more 8-star monsters that become more challenging. Like, you could easily see a Guardian Rathalos getting to that level. You could easily see, like, you know, maybe even Guardian Doshaguma, like, going up there. What they need to do is mess with the thresholds so that the monsters don't go down as fast as they're going down. And by the way, I've seen a lot of people make the claim that, like, just changing the monster's HP and increasing their health pool is not going to do anything. And I disagree. Because what happens is, once you increase the HP, I mean, obviously you got to mess with the thresholds as well. To me, if you mess with the HP, you have to be messing with the thresholds as well. It's like these two things are inexorably linked. Because, you know, it just makes sense, because I would imagine that most thresholds are related to HP to begin with, or something along those lines. But regardless, I think that increasing the length of a hunt will make it significantly better, because you're going to be more prone to making mistakes. Because you can be at a very high performance level for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. When you're doing a hunt, you can be like, boom, I'm in the zone. I'm doing all the things, getting all the perfect blocks. But as the hunt extends, it starts wearing you down. And that is part of the hunter experience. You start making mistakes.
Could be so grossly incandescent.
Elmosu Gaming, thank you very much for being with us for 23 months. Tip of the hat, appreciate the support. Thank you. Making sure players can get 40 plus hours isn't just about money. Imagine working on World only found out a ton of people only saw 10% of your work. The monsters give you a lot of time to heal after delivering a big hit. You have to make over 2 big mistakes in the road. A cart, 15-minute hunt. 15-minute hunts seem pretty good to me. Did you hear we're getting more buffs in PoE 2? Yeah, Thunder, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that as well. They need more moves. Monster in this percentage of health should pull from X move sets. I'm also at a very high performance level for the first 5 minutes, but then my stamina goes down. I can usually go for 20 minutes, and then I have to ask her to get on top. It's like, listen, I'm a 40-year-old man, you know? It's like, I need to rest a little bit. But then, you know, she can be on top for like 5 minutes, and then I'll be like, all right, I'm good to go again. Let's keep going, you know? And then I'll be like, is that not weird? I'm sorry. What were we talking about? Come again. What? 20 minutes? You need cardio, man. No. You don't understand. You don't understand what my 20 minutes are like. I'm not like, That's not what I'm doing. Okay? No. I'm going to keep that part in the bedroom. You guys don't need to know everything, okay? I'm not going to make you a guide on that one. Right? You guys need to figure that one by yourselves. And like I said, 20 minutes I'm not done. I'll just ask her to get on top so that I can get a little bit of rest, get my stamina back so that I can give her another, you know? Ree is a speedrunner? No, actually, it's usually the other way around. 40, you don't look a day over 50. I even trimmed my beard today. What the hell is this conversation? 20-minute show. Clip this shit, show it to his kids in 10 years. They'll be like, that's my dad. That's my dad. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, yes, duration of hunts. Yeah, I think that 15 minutes is ideal for your average hunt. And I know that a lot of people disagree with me, but it definitely... And the weird thing to me is when people start telling me like, back in the old games, you could do 5 minutes hunts too. Wait, what is this? Bro, seriously? Apparently, I just got a random copyright claim on some Borderlands video. Fuck you, Randy Pitchford, you bastard. But it's like, I've seen a lot of people try to gaslight me into going like, back in the old games, you had 5-minute hunts all the time. Not unless you're fucking cunta, you didn't. You fucking liar. 5 minutes? And like in like Freedom Unite? In 3 Ultimate? Excuse me? We must have been playing different games. We must have been playing different fucking games, bro. We were 5 minutes in 3 Ultimate? When your gear is like at the appropriate level for the thing you're hunting? Yeah, 5 minutes if you go back and like hunt, you know, if you get like Brachydios gear and then go beat on a poor Great Jaggy in low rank, sure. Yeah, Freedom Unite 5 minutes when you take White Fatalis gear to a Velocidrome. Exactly. People, no. Don't try to cite the old magic to me, witch. I was there when it was written. People are fucking crazy. I can see it for low rank GU. Depends on your weapon. Depends on your weapon. 5 to 7.5 isn't normal for you guys? No, like I said earlier, like it's 20 minutes and then like take a 5-minute break and then you go. Wait, what are we talking about? Come again? No, wait, actually, shit, it's getting worse. Would be interesting to see Capcom's data for hunting times. I'm putting Arkveld down in less than 5 minutes, but my friends are taking 12. Interesting. Interesting. Professional streamer. Yeah. With Gemma, 45 minutes, no break. Brother, I've seen your hairline. You ain't doing no 45 minutes. Not with that hairline. Sorry. Sorry, brother. It is not happening. Like, I may be older, but yeah, you're not convincing me, Ark. Sorry, bro. That's what you get for showing me the picture of Sant Antonio the other day. Yeah. That's what you fucking get, Ark. Oh, man. Hunts back then were 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes if the monster was hornery. I don't know what hornery means. Look, Diog knows. He knows. Sant Antonio, he knows. He knows what's up, Ark. He knows what's happening. But yeah, getting back on topic. The point is, at the end of the day, I like Monster Hunter Wilds. I think it's a ton of fun. I'm going to keep playing it. I'm going to keep enjoying it. And I'm going to keep making videos about it. Is it everything that I could have possibly wanted? No. Is it a step away from the direction that I would actually love to see the series go to? Yes. It absolutely is. I want more commitment. I want more challenge. I want more hunting simulation aspects, and we've gotten less of that. Is it the right direction for financial success for the franchise? Also, yes. It is what it is. There's not a whole lot that I can really do to change that. I've expressed that. I've said multiple times, like, listen, I want more commitment. I want more hunting elements. I want more of these things. Hasn't happened. Bro, again? What do you want?
If only
You
I could be so grossly
motherfucker.
incandescent.
Oh, is that it? You just came in here and called me a motherfucker. That's it?
Grossly
You
incandescent.
motherfucker, dude. I sent you the picture, and I knew your ass was salty that you weren't invited to go to the restaurant. Is that why you liked me?
If only I could be so grossly incandescent.
Oh.
This fucking guy is like, yo, next time you go to Madeira Island, let me know, because I might be around, and we can go to Sant Antonio. For those of you who don't know, it's a really good restaurant. I was like, bet.
No, it's
I
the
sent him a
best. It's
photo,
the best
as
restaurant.
requested, and he fucking ignored me.
I didn't ignore you. I've been very busy. It's like, listen, these sprues are not going to assemble themselves, Ark. They're not going to assemble themselves. My Earthkin salvagers are
Oh
very
my God.
important.
And as if that not enough, this dude dares. You know something really funny?
What?
Do you know how you and I went out for dinner like a while back with Jono?
Yeah.
Do you know what Jono said to me the next day?
What?
He was like, "So are you and Rurikhan from the same part of Portugal?" I was like, "I don't know if we come from the same part of Portugal, but I know that we have family in the same part of Portugal and that we go there." And he's like, "Are you sure you guys aren't related because you look like a mini version of him?" I am dead serious, dude. Not fucking kidding. I am dead serious.
Carmen Bayless, thank you very much for making 5 people go again. That's a tip of the hat. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. So wait, are you saying that you're a fun-sized Rurikhan?
So grossly
I
incandescent.
guess. Is that why I only go 20 minutes on top, only half the time? Is that why? Am I just cursed to half Rurikhan's time on everything at this stage?
I said I'm also like 20. I have to take a break after the 20 minutes, but it's.
Oh, so you're telling me that I go 10 minutes? That's fucked.
This conversation's derailing too fast. I gotta go, man. I got a show to run. All right.
Yeah, I got a show to run. Show for life.
Okay, but Alma's still.
Good one, dude.
Alma's still better. Love you, man. See you later.
I fucking hate you. I'm quitting Gunlands.
Okay. I mean, I haven't seen you play Gunlance in Wilds yet, so to me, you've already quit.
Oh my god! Go away, man. I can't deal with this roasting consistently like this. That's crazy.
Go back to the islands, motherfucker! And I hung up on him so he can't talk back. It is what it is. Tartarus, thank you very much for becoming grossly incandescent. Tip of the hat. Appreciate support. Thank you. Oh, man. David Blaine added again. Make him Barbie-sized. A kin version. A kin version of Rurikhan. Anyway, that was Ark. Love Ark. Big fan. Especially when he roasts me on a daily basis. Both him and Dark Hero constantly roasting me. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, Monster Hunter. Love it. Gonna keep playing it. Would love to see a more hunting simulation focused Monster Hunter. Are we going to get that? Likely no. Likely no. So that'll be the full cast with Ark. Actually, Ark wants to record some with me, but like these motherfuckers can only record like either giga late when I'm home with family or in the weekends. So it's kind of hard to do that. Move's probably not going to change till Master Rank. Yeah, I would expect us to get like harder content in the next title updates, of course, and I think that will be fun. Will it be the level of hardcore that I would want it to be in terms of how hard it will be? And because like, you know, I miss, which is funny. I remember that I used to be really frustrated back when Alatron and Fatalis came out, because I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll stream it tonight. I'll beat the monster. And then, you know, I'll make a guide, blah, blah, blah. And I remember when I first fought Alatran, I think I was a salty bitch. I was so salty. I was mad. I was big mad. Not mad enough to go onto Steam and review bomb the game. Not that mad. But I do remember that I was very frustrated. And then Fatalis came around. With Fatalis, I was not as frustrated because I was like, oh, I experienced this with Alatreon, so I think it's fine. And I miss that. I miss the not knowing, the jumping into a monster fight and not knowing if I'm going to succeed, you know? That's something that I miss. What's your opinion on the huge problem of players always capturing monsters on SOS? Honestly, feels disgusting every time. I mean, it's an SOS hunt. It's an SOS hunt. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. I would be more concerned with the cheaters, which there's apparently cheaters on SOS, and that is, I'm disgusted. Taking a break from Wilds because I didn't like Title Update 1, playing Xenoblade X now. Xenoblade X is so good. Xenoblade X is so good, dude. Taking a break, I think, is healthy, Antonio. I think a lot of people could benefit from taking a break if they're not enjoying stuff. I didn't think there would be anything difficulty until the collab title update. I like to capture more. Did they introduce new monsters on title updates? Sometimes, yes. Sometimes they introduce new monsters, yes. Just want monsters to have higher stun threshold and probably 35% more health. Yep. Oh, I think future title updates Master Rank have potential to be harder than Iceborne with world updates, or is that hope gone? I don't think we're ever going to go back to Alatran and Fatalis levels of difficulty, no. I'm not joking, by the way. I don't think that's ever happening again. Because that is one of those things where Capcom felt that backlash. They felt that. The review bombs of Alatran and Fatalis, they felt that and they did not like it. So I don't think we're ever going to see anything on the difficulty level of Fatalis. I think that ship has sailed. I think that ship has absolutely sailed. I think that even when we get to Master Rank, you will never see anything on the level of Alatran or Fatalis. I could be wrong. But I don't think that's happening again. Because here's the thing. People are very quick to shit on something they don't like, but they're very slow to praise something that they do like. This is just a fact. Straight up. Because if you're liking something, there's no reason to talk about it. You're just going to go enjoy it, and that's that. If you are unhappy about something, you're going to want to voice your opinion. This is just human nature 101. So not enough people gave the positive feedback like, hey, actually, Alatreon was fucking sweet. Hey, actually, Fatalis was fucking sweet. Not enough of us gave that feedback. But plenty of people gave the other feedback. Alatreon's shit. Fucking Eschaton Judgment bullshit. Fatalis 30 minutes is some bullshit. They got plenty of that. So it is what it is. So I don't think that we are getting like a Fatalis level challenge or an Alatreon level challenge with the introduction of Master Rank. I think we'll probably get to Raging Brocky's levels of difficulty. Maybe even some of the Arch-Tempereds. But that's pretty much it. I hope we got to make you eat your words, but I do agree if those fights were more of a hunt than DPS checks really hurt them. I mean, I hope I ate my words too. What about the clunk being removed? What do you think? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by clunk being removed. You mean like the combat having focus mode now? Is that what we're talking about with clunk being removed? Where would you rank Raging Brocky in difficulty in Iceborne? I don't know, below some of the later Arch-Tempereds, I guess. You think we're going to reach Hazard Risen levels of difficulty? I've never even fought them. Because they were like behind such a massive grind, I never even got there. I think that's why we have Autobird for all the people complaining that they would get lost. Now they don't. Yeah, people who complained about getting lost in Forest. I remember a lot of people complaining in my live streams about getting lost in the Ancient Forest. Think we'll get that level of difficulty, but it will never feel as hard because of how smooth and powerful combat in Wilds is. I feel like a lot of clunk's been removed already because of focus mode. Yeah, I'm assuming that's what you mean by clunk. Because I don't know what else you could mean by clunk. They have over 10 million sales. People are still coming back. There's no reason they're not going to make another Fatalis type difficult monster. Are you sure about that? Like, listen, I want you to understand. I want to be wrong. Okay? When I say these things, I want to be wrong. I am praying that I'm going to be wrong. Probably blocking becoming more responsive. I mean, blocking should be more responsive. I find it interesting that so many people are against blocking. You know that the other day I got a comment where someone was saying, if you think it's so easy, you should fight Zoshia with a weapon that can't block. Like, you think I won't? Like, what? It's like there are so many tools that so many different weapons have now. That is just a matter of practice. Bro probably mains dual blades and is bitching at me about blocking. Then they'll complain you're dodging attacks. Stop dodging those attacks! How dare you! Not gonna lie, I switched from Greatsword to Lance and blocking made everything super easy. The meta of Greatsword in Wilds is blocking. Or so people tell me. People keep telling me that like blocking with Greatsword's amazing in Wilds. So... progging a monster without shield is different in my opinion. It's not... I promise you, the amount of people that complain about blocking if they had to understand the amount of block tax we've had over the years, they would just like never say another word. It's like, oh, your gunlands can block in Months in the World Iceborne. Wyvern Stake Blast. Gunlands can block in GU. Heat Gauge. Your gunlands can block in Rise Sunbreak. Fucking 11 points of armor skills. And I still can't survive some of the anomaly monsters if I block the wrong move. I can keep going. A lot of people have no idea about the downsides of blocking. So it's just one of those things that I feel that a lot of people have no idea how blocking works. And it's like, I find it interesting that in the one game where Gunlance is fun, and I'm playing Gunlance, people are like, try playing without Gunlance. It's like, motherfucker, I've been playing Gunlance when it was shit. For decades. The weapon has been shit. Now the weapon is good? You want me to not play it? Like, what the fuck kind of logic is this? Oh, man. Streamer having fun. We can't have that. Anyway, we got to talk about a couple of more things. There's some very important things we got to talk about. And it all starts with this. The Nintendo situation. So, let's talk about the Nintendo situation, okay? I understand a lot of people want to get a Nintendo Switch too. I want to get a Nintendo Switch too. I don't think there's anything wrong if you're like, I'm getting a Nintendo Switch too. I don't care how expensive it is. I'm getting one. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The part that upsets me is when people then turn around and start defending the Nintendo practices that it is doing with the Nintendo Switch 2. That's what I personally have a problem with. Like, you want to get a Nintendo Switch, fine. You want to pay 90 euros for the physical version of Super Mario Kart World, absolutely fine. It's your money, dude. Spend it however the fuck you want. I'd rather you spend it on that than spending it on a fucking gacha game or some other bullshit that is actually, you know, a problem. Do whatever you want, okay? You should be able to do whatever the fuck you want with your money. It is what it is. The one thing that you shouldn't do is excuse a business practice that is based more on greed than anything else. All right? Let's just be completely honest about this, okay? Nintendo is not raising its game prices to $80 because of inflation. I'm so fucking sick and tired of this fucking bullshit argument. It's like, inflation. Bro, shut the fuck up. When did you get a degree in economics? I don't have a degree in economics. When did you get a degree in economics talking about inflation? Actually, shut the fuck up. Just say fucking nothing. Just shut the fuck up, bro. And then when people start talking about, oh, look at the price of groceries. It's like, yeah, guess what? People gotta eat. Eating is a fucking necessity. And people ain't happy about the inflation on food either. But eating is a fucking necessity. Entertainment is not. The other thing, the other even more important thing that we need to talk about when it comes to inflation is that not one of these fucking people, okay? Not one of these fucking people hardcore glazing, Nintendo cock gobbling, okay? Not one of these fucking people will bring up the fact that the gaming market has absolutely exploded. This is an industry now that is bigger than fucking Hollywood. Do you understand the potential that there is in the gaming audience for profits? Are you crazy? Everybody's like, well, fucking 20 years ago, the games were like fucking $80. Do you understand how expensive that would be? It's like, yeah, 20 years ago, there wasn't even 1/10 of the gaming market that exists today. Kindly, no, actually, not even kindly, disrespectfully, shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Drachmoth, thank you very much for being with us for 2 months. As a long beard, you Giga Chad, tip of the hat, appreciate support. Thank you. I'd say my biggest issue with the Switch 2 is $90 physical copy, but still needing internet to download the game would be in the damn physical copy to begin with. That's the other thing. We got to talk about a lot of these things, because I just wanted to address the gaming price of the console price. And one thing I want to point out though, I don't even know if I am against the price of the console unit itself, because I haven't seen the hardware specs. I haven't seen anything of that. So I would have to get my hands on one to figure out whether or not I agree with the $450 price point of the console. So I'm not even talking about that. It is expensive. Don't get me wrong. It is definitely expensive. It is a premium price for a product, but I don't know how good the product is. So I can't talk too much about the price of the console itself. Price of the games, I can talk about that shit all fucking day long. All fucking day long. Okay? So it is what it is. So that's number one. Number two, that you guys are bringing up, the game key cards, whatever the fuck. It's like, listen, here's how simple this is. All right? And I'm going to make it real simple for everybody in the industry. All right? I'm going to make this as simple can be. Okay? Okay? Let's just like really break this down. If your game, and this goes to every console, whether it is the Switch or the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox or whatever the fuck, okay? If your game is not fully in the cartridge, if your game cannot be installed offline, don't bother making a physical version for it. I don't think this is a complicated thing. I don't think this is a complicated thing. If your game is not fully on the disc, if I cannot pick up the box at a store, take it home without having my console connected to the internet, put the bitch in the console and have the console run it, don't bother making a physical version. It's not that hard. There's nothing wrong if you want to do, oh, but it needs the updates. You're shitting, pissing, and coming all over yourself at the same time, trying to fucking do mental gymnastics to figure out why you need to print out a fucking bullshit cartridge that requires me to go online and download 32 gigs. All right? I don't need your fucking justifications. All right, bro? If you want to make a digital game, make a digital fucking game. Just don't make a box for it. This is not that hard. This is really not that hard. It is just straight up not that hard. This whole physical game key card blood, toss that in the garbage. That is a worthless piece of plastic that you've got there. That is literally worthless. Okay, because it's got nothing on it. It got fuck all on it. Okay. And this is because some companies do not want to pay full price for whatever cartridges, because probably Nintendo is fleecing them as well. See, Nintendo is not just fleecing its customers. They're going to go fleece these other people as well. Like the publishers and shit. They're going to go fuck them over too. So that's another thing. That's my opinion on the key cards. Some people are gonna glaze Nintendo over the key cards. I don't give a fuck. To me, things should be kept fairly simple. You buy a physical game, it has the physical copy of the game in there, and it can be run without any updates or any downloads. And if at any point in this explanation you need to add literally anything to what I just said, you should not make a physical copy. There, it's done. I figured it out, guys. We figured it out. It's like if your game is not on the disc, you don't put out a disc. It's that easy. So, but apparently for some people, this is very complicated. This is a very strange thing. So, that's fucking stupid. Just make a digital version. And especially now that Nintendo has the virtual card technology that they talked about, which is a really big W, by the way. You can just use that. Just, buy it digitally and then loan it out to people. Done. Actually a waste of plastic. Absolutely. It's just completely waste. So this game key card situation, I don't want it. Nobody wants this. And this is one of the reasons why I'm currently focusing more on PC gaming than literally anything else. Because the physical media industry is going down the drain and it's really sad to see, and it is what it is. So that's fucking stupid. But that's not all. See, one of the reasons that I am mostly interested in getting the Switch 2 is because I have a big Switch 1 library. And I'm like, oh, I get to play these games on a better system. This is a good thing. I get to play these Switch 1 games on this better system, which will probably have better performance and have better all these things. Like, I'm talking like this. I do have a reason. I don't know. It's about this big of Switch games, like all stacked up, right? It's about this big. And I'm like, it's not like a big collection. Like everybody's got like big old shelves and shit. But it's like, it's my little Switch collection of physical games. And now it's like, well, that's fine and all, but if you want to actually take advantage of the better hardware that's on this system, fuck you, give me money. Suffice it to say, I have a problem with that. Especially when you're talking just about like, what are these big improvements? The games probably already have 1080p textures. What are these big improvements that I'm getting? Are you going to lock away the more powerful hardware that's on the console so that it can't run the game better? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? What is actually going on right now? This should be like a no-brainer. I grab my copy of Xenoblade Chronicles X, I put it on the Switch 2, and now it runs at 60 FPS. Why are we like, I just want to point out, how is this even a fucking talking point? How is this even like something that, well, we got to talk about that. It's not exactly like that. It's like, no. These consoles are very simple nowadays. This is not like fucking cell processor back on the PlayStation 3. Okay? We are talking about these consoles are basically like small PCs. That's what they are. They're small PCs. So I grabbed the old game, I put it in the new system, runs faster. This is not rocket science. This is not like, an alien concept. This should be literally the bare minimum. The bare minimum. I grab the thing, I put it on the console, it runs faster. And again, we're not even talking about, oh, but we've upscaled the graphics. Now it's running at 4K. It's like, no, it's probably going to run at 1080p, all the same. So just give me the extra frames that your new hardware can get. That's it. I don't want to pay you $10 for the privilege for every single one. Like I said, I have a stack like this. It probably cost me like, I don't know, for the games that even get supported, probably be like, I don't know, 200, 300 euros to like upgrade all of these games to be playable at a slightly better frame rate on the Switch 2? What? It isn't that easy. It is different architecture. I'm sorry. I was under the impression that we're still running an NVIDIA chip. What? Like, if they've that seems like, you know what that seems like, Balkoth? That seems like a whole lot of you problem. I mean, not you specifically, but Nintendo. That seems like a you problem. That seems like something you should have thought before you made your new system. That's what that seems like to me. Switch 1 games are technically being emulated on the Switch 2. Well, guys, if that's what we're doing, tell you what, guys, I'm gonna grab my sprues. They're right over here, and yeah, y'all have fun with gaming on the Switch too. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna play with my dollies. Bye. Are you fucking serious? I was not... I haven't been looking into it, like I said. I feel like I've been living under a rock for the past couple of weeks. I have not been looking into it. Is it actually being emulated? There's no shot, right? Oh no. Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't actually run original Switch games natively, Eurogamer.net. During a recent Ask the Developer Q&A, Nintendo's Kuchi Kawamoto said the Switch 2 team always wanted the new system to play the original console's games, but were told there'd be technical challenges getting it to work. When we first started Switch 2 development, the focus was on enhancing its performance as hardware, namely expanding its capacity. So compatibility was a lower priority. But it was still something the team wanted to ensure, and in the end, the Switch 2 developers settled on the challenge of us using new technology to run Switch games. Said Dota, if we tried to use the technology like software emulators, we'd have to run Switch 2 at full capacity. But that would mean the battery wouldn't last so long, so we did something that's somewhere in between a software emulator and hardware compatibility. The team goes through many checks to make sure the original Switch games run smoothly on Switch 2, but the developers noted it might be that all Switch games run It might not be that all Switch games run perfectly in time for the console's launch this summer. This method of playing older games explains why few titles have compatibility issues, though fixes are in the work. Though fixes are in the work. And while only one Switch game is completely unplayable on Switch 2, the others will still require the use of original Joy-Con due to specific controls or peripherals. But we will continue our efforts so that we can support as many Switch games as possible. Actually fucking cooked, dude. Actually fucking cooked. Like, I'm sorry. No. This sounds like very much a you problem. Absolutely. Nope. Not dealing with it. Nope. Not dealing with it. So it ended up working and it runs those games, and they also made an upgrade performance version of it, so you should get the upgrade by using the new console you paid for. I'm like, listen, I'm I swear to God, every time I read more about this, the less hyped I am about this console. Like, I was super hyped during the Direct. I was like full steam ahead. And then we got to see the game prices. And I was like, oh, that fucking blows chunks. But, yeah. Yeah, it's like, I'm not happy. And by the way, it's important to mention that, like, I am friends with people that work at Nintendo in Portugal. I'm friends with them. I love those guys. Those guys are fucking awesome. But it's like, bro, I don't know what Nintendo Japan or Nintendo USA, I don't know what they're fucking thinking, but this ain't it. This ain't it. It really fucking sucks. Like, I'm not happy. Ruri has an uncle that works at Nintendo. No, he's not my uncle. He's not my uncle, but I do like them because they've given me plenty of like, to give you guys an idea, when my channel was giga small, right? This was back in the day when I went and I picked up like the Wii U. Like, when I was a nobody, the people at Nintendo were willing to speak with me. And I have a lot of respect for that. Because, like, usually a lot of companies, when you're a nobody, they don't give two shits about you. They will shit all over. They're like, yeah, we don't fucking care. Okay? So, when I was a nobody, like, giga small channel, Nintendo was still, you know, the Nintendo of Portugal, that is, were still down to sit down and have a talk with me. Which not everybody else has done. Okay? Not everybody else has done. So a lot of respect. But at the same time, my responsibility is towards my audience. It's just that simple. So I'm going to say what I have to say. It is what it is. When's Steam Deck 2 coming out? I'm hyped for it. Nonstop DRE 360. Thank you very much for the souls. Tip of the hat. Appreciate support. Thank you. I have no problems with Nintendo doing this as long as they're pursuing backwards compatibility. That's good. I don't want them to go PS4 Sony route where they abandon backwards compatibility. I mean, so wait, Antonio, you don't have a problem with them charging $10 per upgrade? Because, like, right now, you're playing Xenoblade Chronicles X at 30 FPS. You're going to pick up a Switch 2, you're going to put Xenoblade Chronicles X on there, and it's going to run at the exact same performance as the original Switch. Most likely. Unless you give them $10. You have no problem with that? Personally, I got some problems with that. What Nintendo games are good? I'm actually looking at getting a Switch. I mean, there's a ton of really excellent games on there. Even third-party games that are also excellent on Switch. So it's like, it'd be too big of a list. Like, off the top of my head, I would instantly have to say anything Xenoblade. Highly recommend. Friggin' the two Zeldas, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Highly recommend. Super Mario Odyssey. Highly recommend. Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, whatever. Highly recommend. And there's more. There's like tons of really good games for the Switch. Rise and Sunbreak, which is also available on PC and other platforms now. I was just going for stuff that was exclusive. I wasn't going for stuff that's multi-plat now. Pay $10 to unlock FPS. Yeah, true. Big true. So I'm not a big fan of that either. So game prices feels bad. Their upgrade thing that they're doing also feels bad. So yeah. As a parent, what's your opinion on the camera? I'm really concerned about that. I mean, you could say that about literally any camera, like a web camera on your PC. I mean, what's the camera going to do? The camera's not going to do anything that some other peripheral isn't going to do. And it doesn't even come with the console. You have to buy it separately. So it's not like you're going to buy little Timmy his first Nintendo Switch and you're going to expose him to the camera. Like, no, it's like you have to buy the camera separately. And it does the same functionality that any other webcam or any other camera that you buy. So it's not like it's anything special. I heard you get the upgrades for free if you have the online sub. So that's the other thing, Anthony Vieta. You get the upgrades for free if you have the online sub Plus expansion pack, which is like their second tier of online sub. It's not just the online sub. Well, I do have a problem if they charge extra for that. I just don't want them to abandon backwards compatibility. I'm fine with them emulating on the Switch too. That's what I meant. Yeah, that's the thing. But that's the thing that I have a problem with as well. Like, I'm okay with them emulating it. I don't like the fact that they are emulating it because it means the hardware, the gains that you get from hardware are going to not be as noticeable that if it was running natively. Because usually running natively, you can get better use out of your hardware, right? But the thing that I do have a problem with is charging for the extra performance. Are you talking about the Switch 2 editions? Yeah. So do you lose it if you cancel the sub? That's a very good question. I don't know how they would handle that, but likely that would be the intended way, I would imagine. Yeah. So you even need the X-Pack too? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for the souls. Nonstop DRE, tip of the hat, appreciate support. Bet Switch 2 chat will be more toxic than Monster Hunt, Modern Warfare 2 chat. I mean, listen. Here's what happened when PlayStation made Astro... Was it called that? I think it was Astro's Playroom. When they made Astro's Playroom, which was a little game that involved your camera, and, you'd be touching the little Astros and stuff, and it was like... They booted that up and allowed people to broadcast that onto the PlayStation Network. And the first thing that people started doing with it was... They were clapping cheeks for everybody. PlayStation Network? More like Porn Station Network. It was like clapping cheeks. Clapping cheeks 24/7 on Astro's Playroom. You knew what you were getting into with Astro's Playroom, all right? It's just like people clapping cheeks. So it's like whenever there's a camera involved, people are going to do some nasty shit. So that's what I predict for the Switch camera. Like, if you're getting a Switch camera for your kids, I would heavily recommend monitor that shit very carefully, or people are going to, Yeah. I remember that's why we can't have nice things. Yup. If people can do some degenerate shit, they're going to do some degenerate shit. I mean, just look at twitch.tv, right? Just look at the twitch.tv. Oh yes, we need a category for the hot tubs, and we need a category for IRL on the beach, and we need a category for ASMR where you're constantly listening to and shit like that. It's like, sure, that's exactly what we need. People are going to do degenerate shit if you let them do degenerate shit. And I'm not against it, by the way. I'm just saying. It is what it is. Real question, how many games do you think will be made to be always online so that you have the subscription? I don't think they're going to do that because it's a portable system. It is in their best interest to not just make games always be online. So I wouldn't expect that. Don't ever do that again. I thought Twitch.tv was about gaming. Oh yeah, we're doing a different type of gaming today, boy. Ruri promoted degenerate behavior. No, listen. Plastic crack is the only degeneracy that I promote. Okay, plastic crack. I'ma snort this plastic. Let's fucking go. Now, another interesting little tidbit about the Nintendo Switch 2, and this is something that I didn't realize until I guess earlier today because I was watching some videos on this. So, the chat button doesn't work unless you've paid for Nintendo Switch Online. So, here's an interesting thing, right? On PlayStation, I'm pretty sure that you can be in a party and chatting with other people without owning PlayStation Online, right? I don't know if that's the case or not because I haven't played my PlayStation in a while, but I'm pretty sure you gain access to the party functionality both on PlayStation and on Xbox without doing PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live. Now, you can't play multiplayer with those people, but you can still chat with them while you're playing. So what I've been hearing is that that's not the case for the Switch 2. In order to even use their party system, you need to pay Switch Online. And apparently, if you press the C button on your controller, that takes you to a paywall if you're not a subscriber of You can't make this shit up, bro. You can't make this shit up. Fat finger paywall button, crazy. Yep. Yeah, and they give you the first hit for free, of course, of course. I seen a post saying that they were charging people for the C button. Yeah, they are. That's literally what's happening, Mike. If you don't have a Nintendo Switch Online subscription, the C button doesn't do anything. And when you press it, it will take you to the paywall that'll inform you, hey, you want to use chat functionality? You should probably subscribe, Nintendo Switch Online. Does the paywall prevent bad actors that will do weird stuff? No. You think people won't pay $10 so that they can broadcast themselves clapping cheeks on the Nintendo network? C for coin, eh? C for cash. Yeah. When I'm fighting promised consort Radon and I press C while trying to frantically roll out of stuff second phase and end up dying equals rage quit. Yep. Rurikhan, it's crazy, yes, but man, people are still paying. They can't stop themselves. It's in all models. As long as people pay, they ain't gonna stop. I mean, listen. You can extract everything that you need to know about this, about whether or not this will be successful, from one game. Okay, one game will tell you everything you need to know about this being successful. All right? Here, I'll show it to you. This article tells you everything you need to know about the absolute state of the gaming industry from an audience standpoint. It tells you everything you need to know. When we are talking about people have absolutely no self-control, this is the prime example. I mean, we could also bring up the profit margins for Genshin Impact. I'm sure there'll be articles talking about that too. Or some other degenerate the gacha game. I'm sure we can also show that. We could probably show that like upwards of 40% of the entirety of the gaming industry's revenue is coming from fucking gachas at this point. But it's like, listen, it is this simple. It is this simple, okay? You think that $80 is anything? You think that $80 for a video game is anything? It's nothing. People are absolute degenerates, bro. It is what it is. Same with so many other games, it's addiction, people can't control themselves. Oh yeah. Imagine if Capcom charged to reroll Ardean weapons, people would do it, I betcha. Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, we don't even have to go that far. Just look at like World of Warcraft and the amount of people that pay money to get their fucking WoW tokens so that they can exchange them for gold in game. Literally paying for power in an MMO they're already paying a monthly fee to. That people have no fucking control. No fucking control whatsoever. Absolute degeneracy. So it is what it is. Wonder if people are suffering from sunken cost syndrome. Oh, absolutely. Sunken cost fallacy. Absolutely. Tokens? Oh yeah. You don't know about the WoW token? So here's something funny, because I know that a lot of you guys don't know about World of Warcraft. So let me tell you guys how World of Warcraft operates, right? World of Warcraft is a video game where you have to buy the base game, which is World of Warcraft. Then you have to buy the relevant expansion that you are playing. You also need to own all of the expansions before that, but usually that gets rolled in over the years, and I think it's probably like, I don't know, anywhere from 20 to 40 bucks to get in on the ground floor, and then probably another 40 bucks for the current expansion. So it's about 80 euros, or maybe, I don't know, between 60 to 80 euros to just jump into World of Warcraft, right? And that's like your entry cost. But the interesting thing is that entry cost doesn't even, or I don't know if it includes a month nowadays. It might include a month, it might not. But basically, that entry cost just gets your foot in the door. If you want to keep playing, then you have to pay a monthly fee. And you figure, okay, so wait, I'm paying for the game, I'm paying for the expansions, and I'm paying a monthly fee. That means there's going to be a lot of content in the game. Yup. But guess what? On top of all of that, there's still like this big, fat, in-game cash shop where they're going to sell you a bunch of cosmetics. And you're like, so wait, I'm paying for the game, for the expansion, for a monthly fee to log into the servers, and then I'm also paying for a cash shop. Well, at least it's just cosmetics. Because you see, then there's the WoW token. You can buy a WoW token, and then you can sell that in the auction house for actual gold. So you can basically buy in-game currency for real money. But the best part, okay? The best part is the mental gymnastics that the World of Warcraft player base will go to give Blizzard the Gok 5000. They literally go like this at Blizzard, okay? They literally go like that, and they go like, it's so convenient for me. I am not joking. I am not like, it's so convenient for me. Then Blizzard goes and they will straight up sell character boosts for $70. I kid you not. I dared to criticize Blizzard at one point over the character boosts. You should have seen the ridiculous amount of people that came out of the woodworks with pitchforks and torches going, leave alone the multi-billion-dollar company. Telling me about how they were going to buy 2 of these expansion boosts just to piss me off. I was like, oh, okay. It's, bro, it's, nah, bro. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. It's fucking crazy. How people shitted on Asmon when he read about first paid mount. He didn't even rant about the first paid mount. He ranted about the nth paid mount. That video of you and Asmongold talk about the raid ready package is really funny and interesting. Yeah. Yeah, dude. So it's like, that's why I'm saying people have no self-control. And here's the thing. Like I said at the start of this, I'm not even going to criticize people for buying the console. I'm not going to criticize people for buying the games. My main criticism is Why do you feel the need to defend the business practice? But anyways, let's watch this interview.
A lot of excitement about this one. I do want to talk a little bit about just kind of the life cycle of these consoles. It's been 8 years since the Switch came. The Switch came off of a kind of disappointing console, the Wii U, which came off of, we know how the cycle has been going. I guess the question now is, with the Switch 2, how do you avoid that trap again? What makes the Switch 2 a worthwhile upgrade so you don't kind of fall into that Wii U moment again?
Yeah, I think of a lot of it is happening behind us right now. And really for us, it's about creating that next generation of gaming platforms for us and doing it in a way that really enhances the overall gameplay for consumers. And with Switch 2, we've taken the things that you know and love about Nintendo Switch, but then added very powerful gameplay features and social features. So it's that understanding of your...
We've added very powerful gameplay features. What does that mean, Doug? What does that mean? Can I turn it up? Yeah, I can. And very powerful social features. So let me just explain to everybody in no uncertain terms, okay? No uncertain terms. Literally nobody, and I do mean that in the actual use of the word, literally nobody wants this. Okay? Literally nobody. Nobody wants this. Not a single fucking person. Not one. Nobody. Nobody wants this. This is one of the dumbest things I've seen in my life.
Past and your legacy and what worked well, and then how can you supplement that with improved features, improved interaction to create what we've created today, which is Switch 2.
Part of that's under the
improved features and improved interaction.
And I know you've partnered with NVIDIA on that. Can you just talk a little bit about the improvements we're going to see?
So LCD screen, that's a downgrade from the OLED screen. Up to 4K with 60 FPS on TV. This will likely not happen in 90% of titles. Up to 120 FPS on a handheld. Not on any third-party titles, it won't. Custom NVIDIA processor, this is a feature, okay. 256 gigabytes of internal hard drive. My current Switch has 0.5 terabyte on an SD card. Motherfuckers can't put 0.5 terabyte in that bitch? That's fine. I'll do it myself.
See for these gameplay on a technical level, what can you achieve now as a developer on the Switch 2 that you maybe couldn't have done on the Switch 1?
Yeah, so there's a few features that I'll call out. First of all, the new and improved Joy-Con, really redesigned from the ground up. And the Joy-Con 2, which are the
looks like a Joy-Con has an extra button.
Controllers that you have either when it's on the device or when you disconnect, when you're in a docking mode, we've designed from the ground up the control sticks. We've increased the size of the shoulder buttons.
See, I'm very curious about the control sticks because that's one of my biggest complaints in current technology controllers. Control sticks suck on every single controller. I don't care if it's Hall effect. I don't care if it's standard controllers. They suck. They're not good. The Joy-Con 2 sticks are not Hall effect. And also, here's the other thing. Nobody wants this. This is another thing. Who the fuck wants to use a Joy-Con like a mouse? Their light gun technology was so much better than mouse technology that I will never understand why you would downgrade back to mouse technology. I do not get it.
Improve the overall feedback and rumble that you feel when you're playing the game. So that's just one example. From a CPU and GPU standpoint, we've greatly improved that capability and capacity, which is now allowing developers to really bring deeper and richer content to the platform.
Price is a big issue here. Everyone's talking about it. It's $150 more than the original Switch was. Can you talk a little bit about why we're seeing such a big price increase versus the previous generation?
So I think it boils down to a couple of things. First of all, the hardware unit itself, which has a lot of improved features, from some of the things I talked about earlier with the Joy-Con 2, also to the LCD screen that is much larger and much deeper and richer. And then there's the CPU and GPU processing power that allows for much deeper game development, and I think an ability to bring even more.
Let's sum that up into non-bullshittery. It has better hardware.
Developers onto the platform. And then laid on top of that is the social features that we haven't talked about.
You would have done better not to even bring up the social features.
But Game Chat is this unique feature that lays on top of any game that you play. With the push of one button, seamlessly you can connect with your friends, you can chat with them via audio, or with 4 of them, you can have them on a video camera and have this opportunity to interact and talk about the games you're playing.
Now we're sitting here on April 2nd. It just so happens, as we're recording this, the President of the United States right now is announcing his tariffs. You and so many other executives are pulling their hair out, trying to figure out, how do I price my products? How did that come into play as you're deciding how to price the Switch 2 here in the United States?
Yeah. As we priced the Switch 2, the price we announced today of $449 for the single SKU, we didn't consider tariffs into that equation. We felt that that was going to be the right.
Let me tell you something about tariffs, okay? By the way, I'm not in favor of tariffs. I'm not against tariffs. I don't give a fuck. I'm not qualified to even speak on that, okay? I'm not. I don't have a degree in economy. I don't know what the fuck the effect it's going to have. Like I said, I think on Mythic Banter, I mentioned that isn't tariffs just an import tax, which it kind of is, I think. And I already have an import tax in Portugal. But basically, here's what I can tell you. Where's the price on this fucking price? I can't find the price on the official website, so let's just go on to a random store. Jesus, Portuguese websites, big slow. Okay, here you go. So technically speaking, there's no new tariffs in Portugal or whatever. So whenever people start talking about, the console's this expensive because of tariffs. Okay, why does it cost $510 in Portugal then? How does that work? That's what I thought. Good talk.
Right price point for our consumers and the right value proposition, if you will.
Yeah, I mean euros, which is even more than $510.
The device that we're creating. A lot of news today. We're still all trying to really understand it better and understand what possible impacts, may rise from that. But nothing I can really add to, today's discussion around pricing.
The orders for Nintendo Switch 2 in the US will not start April 9th. In order to assess the potential impact of tariffs and evolving market conditions, Nintendo will update timing at a later date. The launch is unchanged.
And typically consoles lose money, but you make them up, not on the hardware, but you make it up on the software. Is that kind of the idea with this as well?
Well, I would say that we all are trying to find a way to maintain, if you will, margins on the hardware, even though they may be more slim than they are on software. But yeah, the whole proposition, really, the value add proposition here is once you install the hardware, we want to keep consumers engaged. We want to make sure that they're seeing the value in their investment in one of our devices. So we're ensuring that we always have gameplay experiences and a regular cadence of gameplay experiences that allows them to come in, purchase, try, play a game, purchase the next game, and really stay engaged with the device over time. And that's part of the success we had with the Nintendo Switch.
I think that's one thing people miss out a lot is the value you get out of games. You might go to the movies, pay $30 or whatever for one outing at the movies, but that's a 2-hour experience, whereas this, hundreds of hours, right? For paying it.
Absolutely, and if we use the Nintendo Switch as an example, we've installed over 150 million units of Nintendo Switch over its lifetime worldwide. Last year, 129 million of those devices were still active. So that's really what's important. We want to make sure consumers see that value and that we're always providing them with new gameplay experiences and other experiences that'll keep them engaged on the platform.
Now, let's talk about the games.
Yeah.
Behind us, we have the new Mario Kart World game going on. Now, I know you're bundling that with the console as a digital download, that it's a $50 add-on, but if you buy the game itself, this got a lot of attention. I don't know if you've seen. $80, that's a lot for a game. I know it's typically not what Nintendo charges. And then we look at the Donkey Kong game that's coming out about a month later, it's $70. Can you talk a little bit about how the gaming pricing strategy is $80 kind of the benchmark for a AAA game from Nintendo? What should we be expecting in the Switch 2 generation as far as how much we're going to be spending on these games?
Yeah, I would say that we're not really looking to establish a benchmark for pricing. We look at every game and every experience and determine what we believe is the right price point based on that experience. You've had a chance to play Mario Kart World and see how deeply immersive it is.
We're just going to price it however the fuck we want. And you want to know why? Because you're going to fucking buy it. That's why. Because this right here is a seller's market. I mean, that was straight up what he said. He fucking said it. He fucking said the quiet part out loud, bro. Look.
Look at every game and every experience and determine what we believe is the right price point based on that experience.
We're going to look at every game and every experience and we're going to determine what the right price is. We're just going to fucking decide. We're going to tell you how much you're going to pay us and you're going to do it too. Bruh.
You've had a chance to play Mario Kart World and see how deeply immersive it is and how fun it is. And we haven't shown everything yet. We still have a Mario Kart World Direct that'll be coming that'll show even the deeper feature set. So we believe based on the depth and breadth of the play and the repeatability of the play over time, the pricing that we announced is the right pricing. But again, other games like you mentioned, Donkey Kong Bonanza, it's going to be at a $70 price point, because that is what we feel is the right price point for that particular gaming experience.
So there's no standard price, basically.
There's no standard price.
What about for third party?
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of what cable companies have been trying to do with the internet this whole time, which is like, oh yeah, we're going to sell you a package. So in this package, you gain fast access to Google and YouTube and maybe Twitch, but if you want the Reddit package, that's going to be an extra. Otherwise, when it comes down to Reddit, you're going to be browsing that at like 1 megabit per second as opposed to the full speed of like 500 megabits per second. And they wanted to like piecemeal the internet like that. And it's just so absolutely fucking asinine. Like, no, it doesn't work like this. But unfortunately, it is going to work like this. Because people are going to do it. They're going to buy the games. It's just that simple. It's just that simple.
Party titles, is that kind of up to the developer?
That's exactly right. It's really their choice based, again, on the type of gameplay experience that they're bringing.
Let's talk about supply. Really interesting pre-order.
The worst part about this is that Nintendo is going to pull this off, and then EA is going to do it, and Ubisoft is going to do it, and Activision is going to do it, and they're going to price so many people out of the hobby. It is insane. The only way that you can fix this at this point is for a video game crash. But it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. So it's just like video game crash is the only future wherein we take back control. But it's not going to happen because gamers will unfortunately never stand united because we're too busy focusing on the things that make us different rather than focusing on the things that we all enjoy, which is very, very frustrating. You know, People are either focusing on the culture war or the price war or the war of this or the war of that, or hating on this game or hating on that game. And very few people are actually coming to the understanding. It's like, if you really think about it, we as gamers actually have a lot of power. And we have a lot more in common than we have against one another. But people, it's almost like it's part of human nature that everybody is looking for a cause that they want to champion and go to war over. When the reality is that it's just not the case. We could be banding together and facing these corporations, but we're not. And we're never going to. It fucking sucks. But whatever.
Mechanism you got going on, at least through if we buy from you directly.
That's right.
And I thought this was interesting. It seems to be an anti-scalper move, if I'm reading it correctly, where you have to have a Nintendo account. You're going to look at how many hours I play before you determine if I'm worthy of buying a Switch 2. Are people going to be able to go out and buy it on day one?
So you're going to see, first of all, you're speaking to our own pre-order program that we have through My Nintendo or through Nintendo.com. And our motivation there with the number of hours played was really to reward our most loyal players and to give them a chance to queue up first and have an opportunity to purchase the product.
Give them a chance to queue up first and have, like, I understand if you're just going to say, we want to stop scalpers from, because scalpers are fucking scum. They're human filth. They're disgusting individuals that should all be locked up as far as I'm concerned. Throw those motherfuckers in jail. They're absolute scum of the earth. Absolute disgusting individuals, okay? Let's just throw that out there. So if you want to be against scalpers, that's one thing. But the whole thing about, we're rewarding our players who are the most dedicated ones to have a chance to buy a Switch 2. You can already tell that they're setting up to have like some artificial scarcity on the console, which is going to make it, everybody's going to buy it. Like, however many they produce, everybody's going to buy it. It is going to be a scarcity situation like we've had before.
Product. Tomorrow we're going to be meeting with our retail partners, and our retail partners will have their own pre-order programs. So our goal is to meet the demand that's going to be out there for Nintendo Switch 2.
Do you think you can?
Well, it remains to be seen. But that certainly is our goal.
It's not going to be a Wii 1 situation where years of supply constraints, or the PlayStation 5 years of supply constraints. No COVID to deal with now. So
that's correct. That's correct. And we've had some time to build up inventories on a global basis. Okay. So we really do hope.
So these are ready to ship. They're ready to go.
They're ready to land already in some of the United States. Yes.
Oh wow! So now people are going to go hunting for warehouses, I think, for these things. I want to talk about safety, kid safety. When I saw you introduce Game Chat in the direct today, the first thing I thought, oh my god, this is going to be a nightmare for parents and kids. Like, Nintendo usually doesn't do these kind of features by design. And then you said parental controls aren't going to be part of it. Can you talk a little bit about how you guys thought through Game Chat to make sure it is safe for kids? Because we're seeing on mobile games, on tablet games,
we're speeding it up.
Huge issues with this right now. Parents are concerned about safety online games. What is the process with Game Chat? How you guys thought about that?
Yeah, well, first of all, for us as an industry, player safety is critically important, in particular child safety. And so
I want to point something out when it comes to this whole parents are concerned. In my experience, I fucking hate saying it. In my experience, parents don't give a fuck. And that's something that I'm having to deal with because I do give a fuck. And it is fucking Jesus Christ. There's like 8-year-olds out there now with smartphones. You understand what I'm saying? 8-year-olds with smartphones. And I'm having to justify to my 10-year-old why he can't have a fucking smartphone. Do you understand? Do you understand how fucked up that is? Exactly, Icy Spark. Parents don't fucking parent anymore. They don't. They fucking don't. I've gotten into huge arguments with my wife over this because she'll just straight up plaster my kids in front of a fucking iPad and just not even give a fuck for like a couple of hours. So this has actually been Jesus fucking Christ. As a parent, bro, every time I see it, dude, every time, pisses me the fuck off, dude. Like they do, because the thing is, most regular people do not understand. They don't understand. Because I'm in the industry, because, you know, I do YouTube videos and all of that, and I understand how a lot of these companies operate and how important it is for them to, like, get the fucking kids hooked on this shit like it's digital crack. I am fully against leaving your kid unattended with an iPad in front of them. That is the worst thing you can possibly do to a child. I'm talking about worse than setting them loose outside. Like, if you set them loose outside, it'll deal less damage to them than being inside looking at a fucking iPad. Fuck me, dude. Jesus Christ. So, this whole thing that is saying, oh, the parents don't give a fuck. They don't. A large majority of parents do not give a flying fuck about their kids' screen time. Not only that, a large majority of parents do not give a fuck about PEGI age recommendations, okay? Some of these 8-year-olds at my kid's school are playing fucking GTA. Make it make sense. Fuck me, dude.
Really important issue that we're addressing at the industry level, whether that's through the ESA or whether that's through the ESRB. When it comes specific to Nintendo, there's a couple layers that we can implement. So first of all, with Game Chat, when you choose Game Chat, you're only choosing from a list of your friends. So you're not going online to a wide open community. That's right. It is your friends and it's your friend list and those people that you've invited into your gaming environment. Second, for kids 15 and under, we're putting on top of that the parental control app, where parents, not on the device, but via a separate app on their mobile phone, can actually be a part of their kids' gaming experience. And they have the ability, beyond who the kids can chat with and play with, they have the ability to control the amount of time kids can play, whether they can purchase products from the eShop, what types of titles or what types of games they can play. And yes, very importantly, for kids 15 and under, they also have to be a part of the decision to even use Game Chat, and they have to activate Game Chat from the app that's on the parent's phone. So we feel we've got a number of layers of security that ensure the safety of children as they play.
Talk about the age verification process here, because that's another issue with kids and games. We're seeing it happen right now on the mobile app stores. There's some laws being passed. How do you guys do age verification?
Age verification is done via the parents as they sign.
New apps come out, like the music app. Some new gadgets come out, like Alarmo. Yep. Should we be thinking of Nintendo as more of a character and IP company now? Versus, are you guys trying to go after Disney here? Or straight gaming? How do we think about that?
I think you should think
Jesus,
about
this is
today,
nothing burger.
absolutely, video game. Very simple, very straightforward. The strategy that we utilize to go about doing that is to increase the number of touch points that consumers can have with our characters in worlds. So movies, theme parks, other out-of-video game experiences continue to create those touch points, and thereby the affiliates at the new Epic universe that they're building.
Later, it's kind of died off, I feel like, a little bit, the mobile gaming.
Do that, and we still have active mobile games across a number of franchises. Location.
It has nothing to do with the Switch 2.
Consumers connection to other parts of our IP and of our
Bro, this is supposed to be a Switch 2 interview. What is this guy doing?
Games. We've also announced that with the launch of Nintendo Switch 2, we just announced GameCube and there's other platforms that we brought. You have the ability to go back and play games from your favorite platforms. Plus, Expansion Pass really is all about. The way I think about it is Nintendo Switch Online or Nintendo Switch Online plus Expansion Pass really is all about giving consumers connection to other parts of our IP and of our gaming catalog. So for instance, Nintendo Classics. You have the ability to go back and play games from your favorite platforms, maybe the ones you started on, whether it's NES or SNES. And we just announced GameCube and there's other platforms that we brought games back on. So it's an avenue into those games. We've also announced that with the launch of Nintendo Switch 2, we're going to be taking some of the most popular games that were on Nintendo Switch, like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and offering Nintendo Switch 2 editions, so abilities to up-res the gameplay.
Like, this is just fucking disgusting. Like, fuck you. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, no. No. Fucking no. It's fucking bullshit, dude. And Sony doing the same thing, it's fucking bullshit too. It is fucking bullshit. Really? Enhanced resolution and frame rates? Enhanced resolution and frame rates. $10. Fuck you. $450 for this bitch? And you want to nickel and dime me over the performance improvements that I should be expecting to get on the better hardware? Fuck you.
To have more features available, and those will be given for free through the Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pass subscription. Music's another great example. So we are looking for ways to engage our
Here's another one. Listen to what he said.
Available, and those will be given for free through the Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pass subscription.
These will be given for free through the Nintendo Switch Online and Expansion Pass subscription. For free with the subscription. Hey guys, guess what? I'm making a members only video tomorrow. But the good news is you can get it for free if you become a member. Literally the same thing. Literally the same thing. It is literally the same thing. If you give me $100, I'll give you this widget for free. Listen, guys, you guys see this box of Earthkin Salvagers? I got this for free. It was amazing. I reached into my phone and then I paid this guy 54. No, wait, was this 54? No, this one was 50. I paid this guy 50 euros through an app on my phone and he gave me this for free. How amazing is that? That's fucking wild, dude. That's crazy. It's not the same, bro? How is it not the same? You guys just don't understand. You can play WoW for free if you pay a monthly subscription? Yes! Who'd have thunk it that World of Warcraft would be free to play if you just pay this subscription? Guys, have you guys heard about the new PlayStation hack? You can gain access to all of the PS Plus games if you just pay the subscription. You can get these games for free.
Music's another great example. So we are looking for ways to engage our consumers through that subscription model in a lot of different ways.
Not just games.
Wait, I have to hear that one again. Listen to that.
Subscription. Music's another great example. So we are looking for ways to engage our consumers through that subscription model in a lot of different ways.
We are looking for ways to engage our consumer in that subscription model in a lot of different ways. We're looking to fleece you for all you got.
Not just games.
Not just games, exactly. Exactly.
Finally, we got to talk about artificial intelligence. I know Nintendo's not an AI company. I don't think they're going to launch a chatbot
Why the fuck are we talking about artificial intelligence with Nintendo?
to compete with OpenAI anytime soon. But at the same time, we've already started to see some gaming companies dabble in it. Just a few weeks ago, Roblox had their own AI model for 3D game generation. Electronic Arts is thinking about it. We're starting to see some dabbling there. How's Nintendo thinking about it? Do you see it speeding up game development, for example? Do you see more creative tools? Like, I'm thinking like a Super Mario Maker type of situation. How are you guys thinking about injecting AI
Bro, if I was Doug Bowser, I would be insulted right now.
into your games?
Yeah. I'm always a little careful not to speak on behalf of the developers.
Of course.
I want them to talk about their art and what we do. But if we think about just technology in general to start with, As we look at technology, we always want to make sure the technology we may be leveraging, whether it's to develop our games or whether it's in our devices, is going to create a better gameplay experience. It starts there and goes back to those smiles I was talking about generating. So that's a very important part of our decision-making process in how to use AI. Obviously, AI is very popular right now. It's being used broadly in a number of different ways. It could be used, to enhance productivity. Even within my organization, it can be used to enhance productivity and how we get things done. So there's one utilization. What I would say is if developers choose to use AI, and it is a discussion right now at Nintendo, it's not the only method of developing games. We still believe that what makes our games special is our developers, their artistic capabilities, their insight into how people play. So there's always going to be a human touch and a human engagement in how we develop and build our games.
So no bots making the next Nintendo game.
I don't think so.
They're going to be humans making it. And the next Zelda game comes out when?
Stay tuned.
Okay. Doug Bowser, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so I think it was after this interview, we got something else, which was the Reginator decided to chime in. Former Nintendo of America boss Reggie Fils-Aimé has pointed to the story of the Wii pack-in game Wii Sports in thinly veiled tweets addressing the controversy surrounding Nintendo's decision to charge for the Switch 2 tutorial game Welcome Tour. Bro, I still can't believe that Nintendo is charging for this. It is absolutely insane and asinine that you are charging for this, okay? Literally, Astrobot exists, and it came packed in free. Not the latest Astrobot, because there's 2 Astrobot games. A lot of people seem to forget that. But there's an Astrobot game that came pre-packaged with every PlayStation 5 that showcased, like, the functionality of the new DualSense functionalities of the console and all of that stuff. And Nintendo did the same thing, except it's not a game. It's a welcome tour. It's basically an exhibition, like a fucking museum tour, where you get to read, like, about the functionality of the controller, and they're charging $10 for it, which is so fucking stupid. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Ileana Wolf, thank you very much for the souls. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Listening to you gave me luck. Got the chase card for Pokemon Hot Air JP set. Oh yeah, like it is a well-known fact that my live streams bring everyone good luck. Whatever RNG you are struggling with, you put one of my live streams in the background, it'll solve it. I promise you. But anyway, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour is described as a virtual exhibition of the new hardware. Per Nintendo, through tech demos, minigames, and other interactions, players will get to know the new system inside and out in ways they may never have known about otherwise. The Nintendo Direct showed footage of a small player avatar exploring a supersized Switch 2, reading about the different features and facts about the console. It also includes minigames such as Speed Golf, Dodge the Spike Balls, and a Maracas physics demo. IGN confirmed that Switch 2 Welcome Tour costs $9.99 and is a digital-only product. That's significantly cheaper than other Switch 2 games. But IGN already reported the complaints of some Nintendo fans that Welcome Tour costs money at all, with many saying that it should be a Switch 2 pack-in, as DualSense tech demo games Astro's Playroom was for PlayStation 5. Absolutely. Now, Fils-Aimé has tweeted 3 clips from IGN's 2-year-old interview with the former Nintendo executive, in which he discussed the internal battle he had with legendary developer Shigeru Miyamoto to get Wii Sports as a free pack-in for the hugely successful Wii console. In the first clip, Fils-Aimé says it is an understatement to say that Mr. Miyamoto pushed back on the call to make Wii Sports a Wii console pack-in. As we know, this is a battle Fils-Aimé won to a degree, with Wii Sports bundled with the Wii everywhere except Japan. The second interview clips Fils-Aimé tweeted pointed to a similar battle to bundle Wii Play with the Wii Remote. In the clip from our interview, Fils-Aimé revealed that he pissed off Miyamoto once again with a suggestion. He was not happy about that either. And finally tweeting, and the results. Fils-Aimé clipped out the section from our interview in which he reveals that all this was ultimately the right call. Who could have thunk it? Being pro-consumer is the right call? Holy shit balls! God damn, when will companies ever learn that being pro-consumer is the easiest way of getting brand loyalty? Oh, God. In the Americas and Europe, Wii Sports was packed in with the Wii proposition. It was not in Japan, which created a bit of a test market. It was obvious that in the markets where Wii Sports was packed in, that we became much more of a phenomenon. Wii Sports itself became much more of a phenomenon. We did pack the remote with Wii Play, and it became the 5th best-selling piece of software in the history of the Wii. Fans know what's up too. Ha ha ha, guys. I think Reggie is watching our comments about the Switch too. Said one ex-Twitter user. We know you would have packed Welcome Tour. This week, IGN published an interview with Nintendo America. Bill Trennan conducted in a recent Switch 2 preview event in New York before Nintendo announced the delays to pre-orders due to Trump tariffs. Trennan said there's much more to Welcome Tour than appears based on the showing of Nintendo Direct, even during recent hands-on opportunity the media had access to. Based on what's actually in the game, Nintendo decided $9.99 is not an exorbitant price. It is an exorbitant price. It should be free. It's that simple, bro. It is literally that simple. Okay? Switch 2 Joy-Cons will also not feature Hall effect sticks. They've been designed from the ground up. They're not Hall effect sticks, but they feel really good. I don't know. Haven't tested those out yet. I don't think that Hall effect sticks are all that everybody makes them out to be. Everybody likes glazing Hall effect sticks. I've been using Hall effect sticks for a while now, and I'm like, they're not that different. And I'm sorry, my nose is really itchy for some reason. Jesus. I think it's because I trimmed my beard. Maybe I got like some beard hair stuck in there or something. It's itchy, itchy, itchy. Sorry. Probably from all that coke I snorted before I started the stream too. But yeah, no Hall effect sticks. Do companies not understand the concept of a lost leader anymore? Companies just want all the money. Hall effect sticks don't degrade as easily as those cheap potentiometers, but they're not significantly more precise or anything like that, is what I'm getting at. But yeah, that's another one. So we're going to be giving out the shoutouts to the Longbeards, and then we're going to be jumping into the Dusk Bloods, because I still haven't seen the interview for the Dusk Bloods, so that's going to be the next thing we're going to be doing. So, shout out to Fidel Varela, Curtis Brooks, C. Manta, Saphirian, James Cheek 7507, Astron RH, Angie, Chris Marks, Victor Andre Angel, Dicey Danny, Asdrel, Dr. Eisenhower, Sefrath, Alan Miller, Shami Power Totenheimer, Drakmoth, Sangetsu, Warrior Saul Main, Star Kitsune, Mr. Wipeout, Eugenie, Inquisitor Reed, Jojo Mojo 1512, Sierra 51, The Bug Shaker, Eddie Arrow, D. Luffy, Killer X 316, Chief Hellhunter, Hidden Aussie, Draxus K, Drakmoth, El Renatos, Slam Iron, J. Walco 4, Inazuma, Senior Bacon, Sam Castellan, Devin Widener, Sherlock Para, Figster, Coldbrick, Red Pig Bank, Rambo the Nerd, Pegay 83, Mizzen Jamal, Angry Scott's Net 23, Alex SSS, Robert 396, and Shelby Neko. Thank you very much for being grossly incandescent as Longbeards, you Giga Chads. Tip of the hat. Appreciate support. Thank you. Thank you very much. Don't really care about Duskbloods. Can you make a poll, Rurikhan? I'm curious. Tell you what, we'll do a poll after we go over the thing. So, the Duskbloods, new FromSoftware game that's going to be coming exclusively in 2026 to the Nintendo Switch 2. Whether that exclusivity is temporary or not, we currently do not know, but this is the interview that they put up on the Nintendo website. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to be seeing it for the first time. In this edition of Creator's Voice, we speak to director Hidetaka Miyazaki about FromSoftware's upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 game, The Duskbloods, releasing in 2026. Chapter 1, Blood by Dusk. Chapter 2, Superhuman Abilities and Opportunistic Behavior. Chapter 3, Playing Roles and Altering Fate. Can you please give us a quick self-introduction? My name is Hidetaka Miyazaki. I work at FromSoftware, and I am the director of the Duskbloods. Huh! So Miyazaki is actually the director for Duskbloods. Interesting. It doesn't seem like the kind of game that Miyazaki would want to be the one directing. This is kind of like very unexpected. I think that most people expected this to be another experimental title by one of the new directors that they're trying to bring up, kind of like what they're doing with Night Vale. Night Vale. It is called Night Vale, right? Elden Ring Night Vale? I forget what the actual name of the game is. Night Rain. That's what I meant. Night Rain, not Night Vale. FromSoftware Inc., a game developer, publishing company. Okay, yeah, we know about that. First off, tell us what led to this title being developed for Nintendo Switch 2. A while back, we had the opportunity to meet with Nintendo to discuss ideas, and during this discussion, we presented a rough outline for the Dusk Bloods. It was still very bare bones at the time, more of a loose string of ideas than a proper presentation. The concept itself was different from anything we had done before, and Nintendo seemed very interested in helping make it a reality. So that's when the project kicked off. So basically what Miyazaki is saying, they gave us a big bag of money. At first, it was being worked on by a small team as a title for Nintendo Switch. However, just as the game started to take shape, we were approached by Nintendo with a talk of Switch 2. Oh, so initially it was for the Nintendo Switch, which led us to revamp our development path with this new hardware in mind. The new hardware allowed us to focus more on the online aspect of the title and stay as true to the original vision as possible, which was very good news for us. Sounds like the game differs from most of your previous titles. Can you give us a little bit more detail as to what type of game it is? In terms of structure, we consider it a PvPvE title. At its core is an online multiplayer-focused game with both player versus player and player versus enemy gameplay. So at its core, it is an online multiplayer-focused game. Do you always have some desire to make PvE, PvE type of games? Yes, I've always found the PvPvE structure very interesting. It allows for a broad range of game design ideas, also letting us leverage our experience of designing challenging enemy encounters. As a side note, please allow me to address one thing. As previously mentioned, this is an online multiplayer title at its core, but this doesn't mean that we as a company have decided to shift to a more multiplayer-focused direction with titles going forward. The Switch 2 version of Elden Ring was also announced, and we still intend to actively develop single-player focused games such as this that embrace our more traditional style. This is important because with the announcement of Night Rain, which is mostly a multiplayer co-op game, and then the announcement of the Dusk Bloods, which is also another multiplayer focused game, a lot of people are saying that like, oh, we've lost FromSoftware, they just want to do multiplayer games. This is Miyazaki saying, no, we're just experimenting a little bit, and we will still develop single-player focused games. This tells us about the game's characters and setting. Game's protagonists, or characters controlled by the player, are known as Bloodsworn. The Bloodsworn are a group whose members have achieved superhuman abilities through the power of special blood. As a general concept, they're similar to vampires, but they are not portrayed as the horrifying monsters you might associate with traditional vampirism. We try to extract the sort of romantic aspects we found interesting from the concepts such as vampires and blood, and reinterpreted them as the Bloodsworn. In the Dusk Bloods, the Bloodsworn are competing for something known as First Blood. As human society reaches an end, First Blood flows in an event known as the Twilight of Humanity. The Bloodsworn are summoned to the Twilight of Humanity across a variety of different times and places in a bid to obtain the First Blood. Due to this, there is no fixed era or location in which the Dusk Bloods takes place. Interesting. So basically they're like, we want to express different times, and therefore this is a way for us to justify that. There are more traditional Gothic or Victorian style maps, as well as those depicting the closing years of early modern period, like the one glimpsed in the trailer with the train running through it. Can you let us know the meaning behind the title of Duskbloods? Duskbloods directly refers to the Bloodsworn themselves. As mentioned earlier, the Bloodsworns are summoned to the Twilight of Humanity in a battle for First Blood. Duskbloods is a collective term for these characters controlled by the player. Sounds like blood plays a pretty big role in the game. Yes, in the context of this game, blood is used more conceptually as opposed to literal meanings like the physical depictions of injury. Blood symbolizes one of the game's key themes, the history it holds, the power it passes on, the fates it weaves, and the marker of those who have surpassed limitations of their own humanity. superhuman abilities and opportunistic behavior. What are some characteristics of the Bloodsworn? There are several reasons we put the player's focus on the Bloodsworn, with one of those being character actions. The Bloodsworn possess superhuman abilities thanks to special blood, so their actions are more dramatic than anything seen in our previous titles. So, more anime. Even basic character actions in this game, such as sprinting, super jump, and double jump, are designed to be dynamic and stress-free and are complemented by each character's own unique weapons and abilities, allowing for a wide range of creativity. Guys, I'm scared. Every game is going the route of Zoom Zoom. Every game is going the route of Zoom Zoom. Oh, when am I going to play a game again that's like, we want slow, methodical combat? Slow. I want slower combat. We're getting old, Brewery. Me too, brother. Armored Core. Armored Core is Zoom. What do you mean? Lies of P DLC. This will be slow. Lies of P is super fast paced. What are you talking about? Lies of P is super fast paced. Stellar Blade's also super fast paced. All of these games are fast paced. There'll be slow, methodical combat in the future. I hope so, man. Also, while this isn't directly related to Bloodsworn themselves, the setting allows for depiction of firearms and such, and every character is equipped with some means of attacking from a distance. I feel this is one of the game's unique aspects when compared to our previous titles. I hope these new action elements are one area that players will enjoy. Earlier, you referred to protagonists or character as plural. Does this mean the player will be able to choose from multiple different characters? Yes, there are over a dozen characters. Oh! So, we don't make our own character? There are over a dozen characters for the player to choose from, each with their own identity and appearance. I think there are a lot of unique elements to the character designs and the weapons they use. Hopefully players can find one or two favorite among them. Also, each character can be customized to a certain extent, allowing players the fun of building a character that feels like their own. Okay, so you're talking like archetypes. Can you provide some more detail on the general gameplay loop? The game has a so-called hub area where players can choose their character, customize them, and enter online multiplayer. Online multiplayer supports up to 8 players. Upon concluding an online match, players return to the hub, at which point they receive some sort of reward, whether they win or lose. Using these rewards, players can further customize their character, and so the cycle continues. Online matches are generally last player standing. However, there are certain cases where victory conditions differ. For example, players may be tasked with teaming up to take down a powerful boss enemy or find themselves in other special circumstances. So victory conditions are just influenced not just by PvP results, but PvE results as well. That's right. Some victory conditions center around defeating a boss enemy. I can't think of many examples with that rule set. Sounds very interesting. I'm happy to hear you say that. Regardless of whether it's PvP or PvE, the idea is to provide players with an experience that allows them to learn and hone their skills as they play. We've therefore designed a PvE boss encounters to prevent a tough challenge and a sense of accomplishment upon defeating them. As players can also enjoy improving their own skills over time as they battle. Yes, although there are a variety of elements in place that keep the game from becoming too stoic. For example, how players conduct themselves during a match is just as important as direct combat. The Duskbloods implements victory points, which are responsible for ultimately deciding the outcome of a match. To obtain victory points, direct combat is of course important, but it is not the only way. Some players may prefer to earn points by avoiding direct combat and instead engaging in more opportunistic behavior. How you earn points is entirely up to you. Additionally, each character can summon an entity to assist in combat, giving players a high degree of freedom when it comes to how they fight and win. Another important aspect is match variables, such as the event system. This system has the potential to alter the course of the match, such as special enemy spawns and additional objectives with accompanying bonus rewards. In the trailer, you may have noticed a giant stone face looming in the sky. This is one example of the events that can occur in a match. In this case, the appearance of the stone face affects the environment and changes match rewards, which can have an immediate impact on player motivations and objectives. These events don't happen all the time, and I hope discovering them gives players some incentive to keep coming back. Sounds like those who tend to shy away from PvP can still enjoy themselves. That was the intention. I personally am not much of a PvP person, and I want to make something that's satisfying even for players like me. While the goal of a match is to obtain first blood, there are personal objectives that provide separate rewards to the player as well, so I hope those add to the fun of each engagement. What other ways might player enjoy the game outside of combat? One thing that I love doing in any game is I direct is leaving fragments of lore and world-building details, allowing the player the fun of using their imagination to make connections. The Dusk Blood is no exception to this, so we can expect traditional FromSoftware storytelling. However, we've gone about it a little differently from previous titles. The fragments this time around are found in the previously mentioned character customization items. Their blood history and fate. Customizing a character will reveal a piece of information regarding the world and its unfolding story. You customize their blood history and fate? Yes, analyzing and altering a character's blood history and fate allows players to customize all sorts of things, from their abilities, appearance, and inner characteristics to the role they play in the world and relationships with other characters. Focusing these elements on the concept of blood or blood history and fate allowed for a deeper exploration of customization and is another reason we placed the Bloodsworn as protagonists. This just sounds like as you unlock more things, you learn more about their story. And that's pretty much it. Do you mind sharing any other points you find personally interesting? One area I haven't talked about yet is roles. In online play, roles give players special responsibilities and objectives that often lead to unique interactions and relationships between players based on their corresponding roles. That's probably not much info to go on, so allow me to provide a few examples. But please note we're still finalizing some of the naming and details. For example, if a player possesses the Destined Rival's role, another player is designated as their rival, and they are tasked with finding and defeating that player. Doing so counts as achieving a personal goal separate from the overall victory conditions. Another example is Destined Companion, where one player is required to seek out another designated as their companion, which results in a special reward if they form a bond with one another. Roles can be assigned to any character via blood customization, allowing players to enjoy role-playing in a literal sense and hopefully adding to the drama of these engagements. Interesting. So basically, I can just pick like a more PvE associated role, and then I can find other players and help them. Jolly cooperation. Kind of like how players can pick their roles in a tabletop RPG. Exactly. While not entirely intentional, it may reflect my own interests a bit. It might seem a little unorthodox at first, but I hope players will give it a try. That reminds me, I was curious about the winged rat character seen in the trailer. Can you provide some details as to what role this character serves? This character shares a similar role with the Firekeepers from the Dark Souls series. They remain in the hub area, providing their player with advice and guidance. I suppose you could say we tried doing something a little Nintendo-esque in the spirit of partnership. A rat? That's some commentary, like Miyazaki's just going like, yeah, because you think you guys are rats. You guys are rats. with this price hike you guys are doing, you rats. I think the roles are randomized. They said you could choose. Where was it? Roles can be assigned to any character via blood customization. So you can choose. You choose which role you want for each of your characters, it seems. We tried something cute for a change, although I will say this character is actually an elderly gentleman. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we finish? In addition to creating a PvPvE title, we've tried our hand at introducing a lot of new and interesting ideas with the Duskbloods, from superhuman player actions, a free-form combat approach, and gameplay that's dynamic and dramatic to the romanticized aesthetic of the Bloodsworn, deep character customization, and fragmentary storytelling. I think there's a lot to appreciate and enjoy in this title, and I sincerely hope players look forward to it. Okay, so personally, I'm interested. I'm curious. I always want to see what Miyazaki is working on. Hasn't let me down yet. That's the way that I personally look at it. I know that different people are going to see it differently. But how are we feeling about Dusk Bloods? We're going to go with, are you interested in the Dusk Bloods? It's just going to be yes or no. Looks good. I'll wait to see if it's actually exclusive or not. Super excited this looks and sounds way better than Night Rain. I think it's for different people. Not getting Switch 2, so not playing. Roles sound interesting. Not my type of game. I'm sick of PvP games. Interesting, but I won't buy a Switch just for that. PvPv Extraction, Souls like meh. I don't think it's Extraction. Not now until I see gameplay. Looks mid. Not a fan of the PvPv focus. This game is honestly the biggest buying point for a Switch 2 for me. I'm interested, but not will buy a Switch 2 just for this interested. I'd like to watch you play it. Not gonna buy a Switch 2 myself, though. Don't need another Sword of Frustration. Very interested, but I'm a sicko that loves invasions and wanted an invasion-focused game. Not if it's a Nintendo exclusive. Slight interest squashed by Switch 2 exclusive. So it seems like most of you guys are not interested because of its exclusivity. Yeah, it's not going to be out until 2026. So, right now, it's an interesting split. No's are taking it at 55%. The only thing I care is that FromSoftware holds the IP, not Nintendo, not like Bloodborne case. I bought a PlayStation 4 for Bloodborne, but I won't buy a Switch 2 for this. Yep. Looks like people are very mixed on this. I'm interested. I'm curious. But then again, I'm always curious on the stuff that Miyazaki is working on. Let me just take a quick bio break, and I'll be right back. If you guys are enjoying the stream, do hit that like button, subscribe, bell notification icon, all that jazz. I'll be right back. Coming in late here, thoughts on the state of leaderboards in Wilds. Also, you're going to play Space Marine 2 for the update coming. Stephen Paul, thank you very much for the souls. Tip of the hat. Appreciate support. Thank you. I'll be real, I don't care about leaderboards in most video games, so I don't care that much about leaderboards in Wilds. I'm assuming you're talking about cheating. I expect the cheaters to get banned. I don't know how hard Capcom are going to go on the people that cheated, but yeah, I expect those people to get banned. As for Space Marine 2, I'm kind of like, I'm super busy right now. I don't think I'm jumping back into Space Marine 2 anytime soon. Rurikhan, can we please get a place in Discord for the Warhammer miniatures content? Pretty pleased with this. Sure. Thing is, we have so many channels on Discord already. I should get rid of something. How about we just get rid of World of Warcraft? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'll just make a new channel. Let me see here. I will call it Wargaming Miniatures. So that you can share more than just Warhammer. There's a channel now called Wargaming Miniatures. Okay. And I've realized what is going on with my nose. This is actually the beginning of spring. I mean, we're coming up on the beginning of spring, so I'm gonna be suffering a lot from allergies. And I forgot about that. I need to like start doing the spray thing. Otherwise, I'm gonna be like itchy nose forever. Can people post pictures in the new channel? Oh, right. That's the thing. You can't post pictures by default. Let me turn that on. There, that should do it. I've turned on embed links and attach files. So you should be able to post pictures and shit. Thank you, Victor. Okay, so next up on the discussion, we need to be talking about Path of Exile 2. Actually, we've been playing Path of Exile 2. I've been enjoying it, but I am not like a PoE 2 blaster. I'm very much a casual enjoyer. We go slow, we take our time. We like slow, methodical combat. Mentioned that plenty of times. And what's been happening in Path of Exile 2 has been an interesting situation, which is the community is basically asking for the game to be easier, which is just so weird to me. Like, people want to be able to blast through the game faster. That's kind of like my overall interpretation. And again, I'm not saying that they're not right. I'm saying that I don't know, because I'm not, I'm not familiar enough with Path of Exile 2 to know what is actually best for the overall game experience. But I do find it interesting that, like, we played it on Friday. We were trying to do, like, Mercenary with Spear. I didn't like the Spear playstyle, so I popped out. And then we came back and we played Warrior. And we've been cruising with Warrior. Like, I've just been cruising through with Warrior, and hasn't really been much of a problem, but people have been complaining big time. Like, there was that interview with Zizaran, and that was a strange interview at the start. Like, there was some actual animosity at the beginning of that interview between Zizaran and the developers, which I was like, damn, this is like, these guys are like about to fight. Looks like they're about to fight. Like, Jonathan was not having a good time. Jonathan was big mad at the beginning there. So the thing is, I understand why Jonathan is mad. Jonathan is mad because everybody is shitting on his video game. So it's kind of like, if everybody starts shitting on my videos, I'm going to get mad too. I'm like, what the fuck? I made a video. What's going on here? So it's like, I get it. But yeah, he needs to control himself a little bit better in interviews, because things got spicy. There's a lot of pressure on Jonathan. Yeah, 100%. Jonathan looked very burned. Now, I should also say that I'm not a big fan of how fast they are making these sweeping changes to the game. Because it's like, okay, so you have this vision, right, of what you want to do with Path of Exile 2. And then you have an interview with Zizaran, and everything changes, and I'm just like, maybe it's for the best. I'm not saying it's not. Like I said, I don't know. I'm kind of a tourist when it comes to Path of Exile 2. I don't know much about the game. I'm a noob. Okay? But it does feel weird that, like, so you needed Zizaran to tell you how to develop the game? It's really, really weird. The way that they're just like sweeping changes across the board. Like, I never even got to experience what was apparently something that most people deemed as being too hard. Because the game changed between my first and my second session, I never even got to experience the bloated HP on the monsters and all of this stuff. I didn't get to see any of that, which is weird. It's not weird they did an announcement of mystery boxes to sell? What? Didn't they literally say in the interview they've been discussing those changes for the past few days? Some of them, not all of them. From what we were told, Jonathan only played the campaign twice at the start of early access. But see, that's the part that's weird for me, because I'm having fun playing the campaign. As it was before all these changes. The thing that I'm scared of is jumping into the game, and now, like, every attack that I do just deletes everything. I'm kind of scared of that. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Because again, to me, I do think that it is important to take community feedback. But at the same time, community feedback is what landed on our case in the Monster Hunter community to losing Hitstop in the beta of Monster Hunter Wilds. That was community feedback. People were like, yeah, we don't like the Hitstop. And they took it away, and then people were like, wait, what the fuck? What do you mean you just took it away? Because a bunch of randos decided that, oh, we don't like Hitstop. It's like, what? Wait. You know? I'm at the same place as you, as a bit scared. Yeah, it's very scary that the developers do one interview and suddenly there's almost like a 180-degree shift in the vision of the game. It is super weird to me. So I don't know. I'll have to see how the game feels next time I play it. But let's take a look at this this compilation here that says no fun allowed in PoE 2.
I'm sorry, they made this map smaller?
Not yet, I don't think.
Bro, I haven't found the boss yet. The map literally doesn't fit on one screen. literally doesn't fit on the screen. I haven't even found the boss yet. I'm not done.
As a player,
Oh, this guy. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I was in the wrong thing. The map that he's talking about was this. But yeah, this guy. I need to like mentally prepare for this guy.
as a player, especially as a content creator, if you live stream something and you say, we're going to show you this item and we're going to make this item because this is the item that it's going to exist next game, next league, it should come out. Like, you shouldn't, like, if you didn't understand what you did with that item in the first place, you probably shouldn't be designing items. And if you didn't understand what you did with that skill in the first place and put those numbers in, you probably shouldn't be designing skills in this game. I'm gonna be honest. If you have to wait until a streamer tells you what that skill is good for, like, you probably are not the best at this job. That's all I'm saying. And like, and it's just like what? Like, if you guys announce something, it should come out, right?
Oh, this is the gameplay that they want. This is what. See, this is why I'm so hesitant with these changes, is because this is what a lot of PoE players want.
And it's just like what? Like, if you guys announce something,
This gameplay, like, look at this.
it should come out, right?
Big gameplay.
So
Monsters can't even get anywhere close to him. It's like that. That's gameplay. That's what a lot of people want. That's why I'm so hesitant with these changes.
if you guys announce something, it should come out, right?
So much currency during the campaign, he can't understand.
What created the fish?
Yeah, Jonathan's just sitting there like, bro, I don't know what you guys are talking about, bro. I got like bitches, I got items, bro. I'm fucking like Uber Thanos in the campaign. What are you guys on, bro? Are you guys fucking stupid? Like, are you even fucking logging in? It's like, bro, like, what do you weed?
There's some miscommunication or something. Like, to be clear, that was what we were working on that day, that post, you know, and everyone thought that, like, that's all we were focusing on and stuff.
I have to lower because copyright music.
I wanted to say, but, like, the interview was happening.
Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm gonna skip that because copyright.
You know, like, that is where, like,
I find it kind of rich that he's talking to Sis, who is an avid hardcore SSF player, about how to generate currency, as if Sis wouldn't know. Like, come on.
Does that mean that Ziz wouldn't be able to make a single mistake in how to generate currency? I don't know.
Like, there's like a level of there's a level of you have to trust your player. Right? It's like when they tell you something, like, don't just be like, oh, you might just need to get good. I mean, come on, Jonathan here. He actually does eventually.
Bro, people hate Jonathan. Like, I'm not even joking. People straight up hate this man. Like he fucked your grandmother or something like that. That's the level of hatred that people have for Jonathan right now. Like, what the fuck? Did this man desecrate your ancestor's tomb or some shit? Jesus
that's
Christ.
Good. No, but on this one, I'm like, come on.
Let's be real. There are people that like that. No. You can't say that doesn't exist. There's definitely people that like that. There are. It's true. There's also people that like murdering people. There's also people that like eating shit.
See, I mean, I think that he's talking about like the players that enjoy more friction in the campaign. And it's like It's just never going to be because like I'm always trying to be like, yeah, I don't know if what I like is the best for the game or not, blah blah. And it's like the comparison here is, yeah, there's also people that like eating shit. Like, oh, okay.
Often the same people that like playing D4, but it's like they're not many.
16 minutes in, and Jonathan basically just said like, I don't want to make the game you want to make. Yeah, I think I'm gonna break up with PoE2.
It probably sounds like I'm being facetious, but like, just watch like some Quinn highlight. Like if you play ZDPS melee, knockback is so brutal, dude. Like, whatever knockback solution they come up with, they gotta get like Quinn's stamp of approval on it, because he is an expert on this. All right, like it doesn't matter what I think. I think knockback's pretty bad.
Get to the point of having like everything just be trivial. It's like, well, okay, like why am I even playing this anymore?
Because it's fun. It's like, okay, so basically he does not like PoE1. He thinks the gameplay's trash and trivial because he's the god gamer, Jonathan. And I love PoE1 because it's fun and enjoyable and gives me the power fantasy, and I get to collect loot and craft gear and fight challenging bosses, right? So for me personally...
What do you mean fighting challenging bosses? Because that's not the gameplay you guys are arguing for from my interpretation so far. You guys are arguing for this gameplay.
In this game.
This is what you guys are arguing for.
What
this
that
right
skill
here.
is good for, that's all I'm saying.
Like, listen, this is what most PoE players are arguing for. This is what they want to do.
Like what?
They want to do this to bosses.
Like, if you guys announce something, it should come out, right?
They want to go up to the Arbiter of Ash, unleash this ungodly machine gun, and fucking delete him. So it's like, what do you mean challenging bosses? Is it this one that we're in?
Everything just be trivial. It's like, well, okay, like why am I even playing this anymore?
Because it's fun. It's like, okay, so basically.
So like that thing that Rutu was doing, that's not fun for me. I don't want to play that game. Dude, you barely played PoE1? Yeah, because I'm not interested in this. I'm not interested in this.
And
I don't want this.
And it's just like
that's the thing.
What? Like, if you guys announce something,
and so it's like every time I see people arguing for this, I'm gonna disagree because that's not what I want. You also don't know 99% of PoE1 gameplay. Every time I look at PoE1 gameplay, that's what shows up. Let's see. Becoming more okay with difficulty levels in games at this point. Less people complaining than... I don't know what that means. Tilted Glory Gaming, thank you very much for the souls. Tip of the hat. Appreciate support. Thank you. Oh, you mean you're becoming more okay with games having multiple difficulty levels? Yeah, maybe. Filters. Let's go for... Maybe? I just picked like the random, I just put like farming PoE1 bosses and this showed up. Is this the meaningful, challenging boss gameplay of PoE1 that you were talking about? Wait, this is PoE2. Or is it PoE1? I don't even know. I guess it's PoE1. There more bosses in here or something? Because like I'm just saying, like, usually whenever I pull up bosses of PoE 1, this is what shows up. I'm guessing the player is in here in the middle of this shitstorm, eating all of this damage, taking no damage whatsoever, deleting this boss. I don't know anything about this game. I know that this is not what I want. Cheating. This is a 0.1% build. I don't know what to tell you. Like, because now if I look up Path of Exile content, it just shows up Path of Exile 2. Yeah, like I'm trying to look up stuff from this month from Path of Exile, and it just shows Path of Exile 2. Zion EX. Path of Exile always started slow and ended fast-paced. It's the point of the game. You end up with broken builds if you want a more slow-paced game, then sorry, PoE is not it. Okay? But what if the makers of Path of Exile 2 specifically stated that's not what they want to do?
That have quit.
Clearly, it's not what the community wants. Oh, that's fine. That is perfectly fine. But then I just need the developers to tell me, actually, we're making it so that this is like PoE 1. And I'll be like, cool beans. Good times.
Silvers in them that have onslaught, that have zippy movement skills, that don't have like crazy combo gameplay. Like, this is different to the PoE 2. Yeah. Now, you guys say years ... That's why I say you're a bunch of fucking tourists. Because I was excited for that game. That's why I say you're a fucking tourist. Because clearly you've just started playing PoE 2 and you like this game. And that's great. I'm happy for you. But the game that was shown at ExileCon is not the game we got today. It changed a lot in a very different direction.
Bro, imagine if I was this welcoming to new Monster Hunter players.
It's okay for me to say I was excited for that game and to not be excited for this game. That's fucking fine. But don't act like it didn't change.
Quite frankly.
It's not quite like there's probably misbalance here 100%, but it's not quite the same as what the Heralds were doing. But it is still a balance anomaly for sure. Like I certainly have people playing I know people who are playing Lightning Archers right now and they're like, why am I suffering like this? I'm going to swap to Lightning Spear, which I assume is what you meant.
Ru2 made me promise to ask that.
Yeah, so look, it's pretty clear. What? It is the #1 play build right now is Lightning Spear Amazon, and that for good reason, right? Like,
holy bitch!
It wasn't the intention to be like we removed this thing and added this thing. That isn't intentional. That it ends up playing that strongly and that powerfully, and it's like a clear like.
Bitch.
I mean, just use it and the whole screen implodes, right?
But the trouble we have now is, like, you know, this is what people are doing now.
Yeah,
and we nerf that.
I'm liking the way the last few patch notes are trending. I mean, they had an entire interview yesterday. I don't know if you watched the interview yesterday, but the interview yesterday was pretty much just telling them, you fucked up. Jonathan saying we didn't fuck up. The entire community telling Jonathan he fucked up. Mark saying, okay, we fucked up. Jonathan then going, yeah, we fucked up. And then them going, all right, we should fix this.
Game definitely has issues. I think the pacing of the combat should be changed. It should be more Souls-like. I think mobs should be slower. Players should have more fun from clicking their buttons, and the game should allow them to use their combos. Obviously, you should be more capable of layering defenses. It's early access. We need more tools for customizing our character. I think the game is already a little bit too bloated, and they're gonna keep adding more shit, so the point of the patch, the point of PoE 2 was to prevent a lot of that, and it's happening already, so they need to look into simplifying certain elements.
If this game wasn't called Path of Exile 2, would it make you less mad? Like, is this game like, you know what I mean? If this was a game from another company, so to speak, wouldn't your opinion, I feel like a lot of people's opinions would actually be like vastly different.
Based!
When someone says Ben said, I always say that's correct now. Never again. Never again.
Ben said Cat W.
Alright, here's the thing. Remember, like, you can clip this or whatever and save it for later. When they finally announced the new PoE 1 League, is the community, like the PoE 1 community, just going to be bitching immediately from the gate out all over again? Or are they actually going to be like, finally, and be very grateful? Or are they going to be like, I don't like this. This looks dumb. That sounds dumb. I don't like this. Or, you know, are they just going to bitch about it? Like, what's it going to be? You know what I mean?
You think you got enough terracotta soldiers there?
Anyways. Okay. Alright, they got 1400 DPS.
I'm here for drama. I make no builds. If I make no builds, Root2 makes no builds.
I'm just saying. All you need to do is name one, dude. Just one fucking build, bro. You guys can't name one. Because it's all jacked. All stolen. All just pillaged off the intelligence of other streamers, dude. Okay, not even build. Name one tech he made. One tech. One thing. I'm just saying. You know, the other day he was talking shit to me, and I told him in Discord to his face, you literally
in Discord to his face. That's usually how I talk to people to their face, through a Discord DM.
Farm Path of Exile currency for a living. You're literally like you're literally a McDonald's manager to me. So I told him that in his face, like straight up. I don't care.
In his face. On Discord.
If he tries to come at me, dude, I fucking tell him to his face. I have nothing to hide.
To his face. The concept of to someone's face has changed drastically. Wait, what? All right, then.
We that fail.
I'm not zero.
We that are one. We tire. The abyss knocks once and is answered by four.
Challenging bosses, by the way.
Pretty good.
Wait, he's already phasing? What is this?
If it's so easy, do it right now. Get there and do it. Balder, you seem to be misinterpreting the point. It's like, if I did nothing else but play Path of Exile 2, you think I wouldn't be able to do it? Because, like, you seem to be under the impression that I have something that I need to prove. I've done my challenge runs years ago. I've done plenty of challenge runs in plenty of video games. You think I can't do this? The point that I'm making is that this is the gameplay that a lot of people are arguing for. And this is specifically the gameplay that I do not want.
Hey, where'd he go? What the fuck? Where is he? Let me kill you. Okay, wait, he's dead. Wait, he's dead.
Yeah, it looks like exactly the same, but maybe slightly worse. That's Tam Tong. And this fears fucking shit.
Alright, so you put down spikes, and then the boss comes, but you already have a hammer, so I'm gonna hammer, boom. Gonna stun him. Seismic Infernal, swap, hammer, and again, by the way.
Damn.
And the next guy is gonna come here, and the same thing. I'm just gonna pre-stack my shit.
At least this one's using multiple combos.
I'm gonna stun him. Then do the same thing. Hammer again. Boom.
Is it 9? We should have 9 plus 1. That would solve a tremendous amount of this problem. If we had 9 plus 1 each, it makes a lot more sense to actually utilize weapon swapping with different weapon types, or same weapon types as well, that's fine, but it's like the game is cucking itself from creating build diversity with that system, because the limiting of the gem slot. If you force +1 gem, it opens up a lot more, because then
He looks at a random clip and assumes gameplay. You can and always will be able to pull up clips of ARPGs at some point. The player outscales and wins. It's literally what the genre is. I want to make it very, very clear. The reason why I got into Path of Exile 2, as hard as I did, was specifically because I saw something that felt different from the other ARPGs. I have not gotten as invested into an ARPG as I have gotten invested in Path of Exile 2, purely due to the fact that none of the other ARPGs have shown me the same things that Path of Exile has. Now, I understand that for a lot of people, they see this game that is challenging all of these conventions of RPGs, and all they want is like, I want my Dynasty Warriors experience, where I'm just like mowing down enemies like, brrr, and it's like, that is exactly the opposite of what I want. And I'm not saying, and by the way, when I say this, I'm not saying that you're wrong for liking it. I'm not saying that you're wrong for wanting it. I'm not saying any of that. I'm not criticizing any of these players that are doing these things. The only thing that I am pointing out is that the reason why I'm interested in Path of Exile 2 is because my interpretation of the interviews that I've seen from the developers, they have stated specifically that this is not what they want the game to be. What straw man? What do you mean straw man? There's no straw man. It's literally what they said. And unlike the guy who was saying, I said in his face in Discord, this is literally what the developers said. They said, we want engaging gameplay. We don't want PoE 1. We want PoE 2 to be different. This is not a straw man. This is something the developers have stated. How is it a straw man? Dynasty Warriors gameplay? What the fuck do you call this? Like, actually, I think Dynasty Warriors is harder than this. What do you call this?
And it's just like what? Like, if
What
you
is
guys
this?
announce something, it should come out, right?
So
it's you're right. It is a straw man. I don't know if it's a straw man or a steel man, but it is definitely not like Dynasty Warriors. Dynasty Warriors is longer than that.
Have 9+1. That would solve a tremendous amount of this problem. If we had 9+1 each, it makes a lot more sense to actually utilize weapon swapping with different weapon types, or same weapon types as well. That's fine, but it's like the game is cucking itself from creating build diversity with that system because the limiting of the gem slot.
So it's like, to me, the biggest thing that I just want people to keep in mind is, like, I'm not against PoE 2 becoming that. But from what I hear, whenever I hear the developers speaking, it seems to me that they're saying this is not what we want. See, here's what is happening with this situation, right? I want you guys to really just understand this, because again, I'm not coming at this from an adversarial standpoint. I don't want to go to war with the PoE community. If this is what you guys want, that is cool, man. That is super chill. I got no problem. There's fucking a million video games out there, bro. I can go play another video game. This is absolutely fine. I've got no issues. If that's the type of gameplay that Path of Exile 2 is going to evolve into being, that's fine. The biggest problem that I have right now, and the reason why I bring this up as much as I do, is because on this side, I have Mark and Jonathan saying, we want meaningful combat, we want combo gameplay, we want things to be more slow and methodical, right? This is Jonathan and Mark on pretty much every interview they do. We want the game to be fun like this. And then on this side, there's the PoE community going, I just want to blast, blast, blast. Okay? Now, I'm fine with either scenario. But what is happening is, if this scenario, the one where Mark and Jonathan are going to achieve whatever Souls-like hybrid thingamajig they want to go do, that's the vision I'm invested in. The blast, blast, blast vision, all I need to do, all that needs to happen is Jonathan comes out and says, actually, we want the blast, blast, blast thing. The moment he says that, like, bro, chill. I love the time I spent with the game. Fantastic. Hope everybody has fun. Peace out. I'm going to do my own thing. But right now, that is not what I'm hearing. That's the problem. The developers also said multiple times that at some point in PoE 2 you will be all powerful, so if that turns you off, it's probably the wrong game. That is not what they've said. They've said you are going to become very powerful. They did not say you are going to become PoE 1 levels of powerful. These are very, very, very different things. And in those scenarios, they've always stated you are expected to do combo gameplay, which is not what is happening in the clips that we've been... I've seen one clip where there's combo gameplay, which is the one you had the guy with the hammer doing the thing. That is it. So, that's all I'm saying. This is literally all I'm saying. I just need to know, what exactly is the vision? Are we going the Souls-like approach, or are we going the zoom, zoom, zoom? Because I just need to know if we're going zoom, zoom, zoom. That's it. That's all I want to know. Yeah, I've already got my enjoyment out of it. Like, listen, I gave them $100. Because, I bought the $30 thing and I liked it so much. I gave them the $100 upgrade, and it's been worth it. For all the time that I've played, I've been having a blast. Love it. Absolutely love it. But ultimately, If the zoom, zoom, zoom is what we're going to veer towards, I'm out. You don't see combo gameplay because they failed on providing worthwhile combo gameplay. Yeah. It's early access. That's the point. They're figuring it out. But at the end of the day, I want to see where the game lands. And if their vision goes towards what you want, that's fine. But if their vision goes towards what I want, therein lies the problem. Because the people that are in here going like, no, we want blast, 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 zoom, zoom, zoom. If the developers decide, no, actually we want this, they're going to make one hell of a fucking ruckus. If you watch Rise clip, he's 100% correct that as the game stands at the moment is not making that possible. Yeah, I know. I know it's not possible because it's not done. Because this is early access. A lot of people are treating it like it's a release, but it's not. And I'm not defending them from criticism, by the way. I don't care. I have no dog in this race at the end of the day. I'm a newcomer. I'm an outsider, okay? I got no dog in this race. I'm just interested in a game that is fun for the things that I like. That's it. And what if the game will be the same in full release? Then that's when I will make my decision as to whether I care for that or not. You keep assuming the gameplay people want who are currently criticizing the game. So wait. You're telling me that the zoom zoom gameplay is not what people want? Is that what you're saying? That all these people that I've seen arguing that the game needs to be easier and more zoomy, that they don't want the one button builds that are blasting screens in 1 millisecond. Like, I'm getting very confused. I'm getting one guide and I'm getting very confused. It's what some people want. The bigger problem at the moment is not about difficulty or zoom. It's about the game feeling shit. See, but that's the thing. I don't agree that the game feels like shit. I don't. But I'm not at maps yet, so maybe my opinion doesn't matter as much. I don't know. But going through the campaign, I've been having fun. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Wait, how far have you gotten? I'm probably like 60% through Act 3 at this point because I haven't had a lot of time to play. So yeah. That's why I'm saying like maybe my opinion's not as important. Like last time I went all the way up to tier 15 maps. I couldn't progress much more beyond tier 15 maps because armor was dog shit. And that's kind of like something that's beyond my control because I'm not going to fully respec my character into some fucking energy shield bullshit because they can't develop defenses properly. See, that is something that I can criticize. I can talk shit about the way that they've been developing defenses, and it seems that for this version of the game, it's still the same fucking shit. It's either build ES or die. And that is something that we can all agree on, and that shouldn't be the case. All of these defensive options should be equally viable and should have their strength and weaknesses in different situations. But right now, it's more like energy shield's the best at everything, and armor sucks at everything, and evasion is Russian roulette. Which is obviously not a good place to be in. That is something that I can agree on. Absolutely. There's problems there. There's plenty of other problems too. There's plenty of other problems in the game too. But ultimately what we're arguing right now is not that. What we're arguing is the overall feel of a slower, more methodical campaign and pacing and mapping versus zoom, zoom, zoom. That's the, I'm talking about the grander vision of what the game is meant to be. Think you need to do a podcast episode with a PoE streamer? I've done 2 of those in the past, and I was going to do another one, but DM was too busy. Because I want to do another one with DM because I just really like talking with DM. DM is just like really easy to talk to. So the next one that I'll do will probably be with DM. No, not DM. Well, it's like I'm not going to talk to the Root2 guy. He's going to just like scream and it's going to make for a miserable listening experience. It's like people would be listening to that on Spotify and going like, why is this guy screaming nonstop? Rax, Woody. I'd love to talk to Rax or Woody. Crip will probably be very hard to get because Crip was so busy that even to get on the Zizaran podcast, they had to do it while he was streaming. So that will be a scheduling nightmare. What about Quinn? I think me and Quinn would agree on a lot of things. But I actually need to go pick up my kid from jiu-jitsu. Unfortunately, I can't finish like the clips here. But like, suffice it to say, I'm more interested in a slow, more methodical experience, which is kind of like what I was doing last time that I was playing, and I was having fun. But the moment we go full zoom and they confirm that that is the vision, that is when I'm kind of like, I'm losing interest, if that's what is intended. Like, just looking at the Herald's builds that we saw during 1.0, or 0.1, not 1.0, and looking at some of these, like, machine gun builds and shit, I'm looking at this and I'm like, it's not engaging gameplay. You're deleting screens for the sake of deleting screens. You might as well just get a button that automatically resolves all of the loot from a map, and you just get that sent to your inventory. Kind of like the same thing. I mean, rather than you having to actually go through the map, wouldn't it be more efficient if you just like press the button and then you wait 2 minutes and it just like there's a box that drops loot? Like the game calculates your clear rate of the map, and the game calculates, okay, according to the damage that your build can do, your clear time for the map is like 3 minutes. And so you just go to the box and you hit the button and it waits 3 minutes and then boop, loot comes out. I don't think the genre is for you, honestly. It's like, I don't understand how people can say that when I absolutely love what I've played of PoE 2. I absolutely love what I've played of 0.1. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. It was some of the most fun I've had in a video game in a long time. What do you mean it's not my style? It's such a weird thing. Gatekeeping the genre because it can only ever be one way is crazy. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, I do need to go pick up my kid from jiu-jitsu. So we'll talk more about this later. If you guys enjoyed the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification icon, all of that jazz. I'll see you guys in the next one. Y'all stay strong, stay safe. Peace out.